All right, everybody, welcome to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
And hopefully you can hear him. We just took his mic out. You know, we were finally sick of it. We were just like, we are going to just break his mic, and it is now a quiet Ross Merriam show here. So it's going to be great. I just get to talk at you, and you just have to be quiet. Whoa.
I can talk louder.
Yeah, that's fair.
We discovered a technical problem late in the game with my microphone. Rob's off screen fixing it right now because that's his job.
He's crushing it. Off-screen tech support here. So, Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games, and he will get his favorite one sent over to us. So now we're playing some Modern. We played a lot of Standard. We even got to play Standard 2022 on Tuesday while you were back surprising your mom.
Is there a greater indictment of a Standard format than having it be more popular to play the post-rotation format 3 months early?
It's not great. It's not great at all, but
no one is excited to play Standard right now, but I've seen tons of people excited to play Standard 2022.
Yeah, and it has been fun. It really was. You know, even right away, a little bit about when me and Brad were just playing the format when we were back at home. Like, is it Dragon Mirror? Usually, game one, it's pretty fun, pretty interactive in normal Standard. And then, like, game two, it is like, okay, everybody sides into the shark plan. Then you have Brazen Borrowers to counter their sharks. You have counter spells to counter the things that matter. And all you're doing is cycling sharks and, attacking with those sharks, and it's pretty boring. But in Standard 2022, you just don't have that interaction, and it's kind of crazy how much Shark Typhoon made those mirror matches really unfun. Because now they're actually sweet. There's a lot of play to them. It's grindy, and then there's also like 4 or 5 other decks. So it was a pretty fun. It was a pretty fun show.
Yeah, I imagine that you're. Even though you lose a bunch of cards that ostensibly see a lot of play, you unban so many other cards.
Yeah, 100%.
That the format gets much more diverse and much more dynamic as a result.
Yeah, like I played Angels. I played Orzhov Angels, and the deck was kind of sweet. Like Mono Green seems like the best deck right now because you get to play 4 Azeka's Chariot. That card got unbanned. Of course we saw a couple of them being played, but you just didn't really want to play 4 of them because you're attacking into Lovestruck Beasts or Ultimatums going way over the top of you, but without that card's just phenomenal, like we kind of thought when we were previewing that card.
Now, the biggest thing that the power level of Threat of Eldraine has pushed out is it's polarized the metagame, where you have these really efficient, powerful, aggressive decks, and then you have decks that are playing good, cheap removal and really powerful over-the-top effects. So there hasn't really been space for those sort of mopey mid-range cards, and as much as I'm not usually a big fan of them, their existence makes for a good metagame. Like they need to be able to exist, especially in Standard. That's what Standard should be about. And we just haven't had that. The format has gotten too efficient. Lovestruck Beast on the lower end being a big part of it for aggressive decks, and then things like Emergent Ultimatum on the high end. But even before that, we had seen a huge swath of different other things that went way over the top. Wilderness Reclamation, Fires of Invention, everything like that. Nissa.
Yeah, totally agreed. So, the direction that Standard is heading in is great, and we can tell that with Standard 2022, because we're also going to have Innistrad in there, and it'll be sweet. But, yeah, it's like we don't really want to jump into regular Standard anymore right now. It's just not different enough with Adventures in the Forgotten Realm.
So instead, we're going to examine the impact that Adventures in the Forgotten Realms has made on Modern. Now, normally, new Standard legal sets don't make a huge impact on Modern.
Unless they're Throne of Eldraine.
That is true in this case. Not a huge impact, but there were some cards that broke through last weekend in the MTGO challenges, and we're going to look at those and play them against some of the other top decks in the metagame. Starting with sort of the breakout deck from the weekend on my side, and that is Mono White Equipment, the Colossus Hammer deck. And
or bonk, as Cedric would call it.
Mono White Bonk.
Mono White Bonk. I like that.
Can we change that, Rob?
I'll get right on that.
I'm
sweet.
There's no way Cedric doesn't approve that.
Yeah, exactly. He coined it, you know. So if he's really changing that to Mono White aggro, then we know he cares way more about his job than his.
It was Mono White Hammer.
Brand.
It was Mono White Hammer, but
Mono White Hammer.
Now it's Mono White Bonk.
I did put Hammer Time on there, so yeah, he did change it a little bit, but he didn't change it to Bonk. Yeah, he said stop. Bonk. That's what you were going for. That's the reference, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, I did you a service here. I defended against the big bro.
Nice job.
I still lost more games, but
Yeah.
we still
you
got
got to
it.
win the right games.
You got to win the right games. So, yeah, today we're going to be playing Modern. I'm going to be starting with what I still think is the best deck. I think this deck is, the sleeper that people are ignoring. And it did insane this last weekend. I had like four copies in one of the top 8s of the challenges, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think it's extremely good. And I think it is a bit of a tough matchup for me. But I'm playing Doomwake's Murktide Regent deck,
Yeah.
I think this deck is really
a
sweet
Delver
too.
deck, but people finally wised up and stopped putting Delver in it, as we were both urging them for weeks.
Yeah, it's like Channeler is much, much better. And, you really don't want a lot of creatures in these style of decks, and you want to have a lot of answers. So, yeah, I think it's a sweet deck, definitely in the tier 1 category still.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And due in large part to the fact that Murktide Regent is very difficult to answer.
It's bananas.
Yeah.
Or it's like, it's not that hard to deal with, right? Like, Path is still around, but people aren't playing it right now because they're trying Prismatic Ending. I think this deck is becoming so real enough that people are kind of coming wise to it, and now we're starting to get back to ways to kill it, Terminate even, and stuff like that. But, for now, it's running rampant.
Well, you're caught in this awkward spot because the best removal spells against Dragon's Rage Channeler and Ragavan, as well as Monastery Swiftspear against Prowess decks and things like that, are Prismatic Ending, Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push, and none of those kills Murktide Regent.
They do not.
And when you start putting Path to Exile and 2-mana removal spells in your deck, you make yourself weaker to those good 1-drops.
Yep.
And so there's a balance that you need to strike to be able to prepare for both, because there's still plenty of those 1-mana creatures around, certainly more than Murktide Regent, but you can't leave yourself completely cold.
Yeah.
So we've started to see people incorporate,
agree.
1 to 2 Terminates in their Rakdos decks, and maybe some Paths, somewhere in the white decks, just enough so that they're not cold to Murktide Regent.
Yeah.
But it still means that there are plenty of situations where you don't have one of your 2 outs to the Murktide Regent when they play their 2-mana 8/8 flyer on turn 3.
And I mean, that is exactly it. It can be a 2-mana 8/8 relatively easy. I mean, actually, to get it to the 8/8, you got to get a little lucky. But even just a 2-mana 5/5 with 2 fetch lands and 1 Thought Scour, that's all you need. And that is ridiculous. So, yeah.
And then the mono white hammer deck is playing Ingenious Smith from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. This is a card that was sort of split in the list that did well last weekend. There were 12 lists across both top 32s. 6 of them played Ingenious Smith, 6 didn't.
Really?
Yeah, in varying numbers. You saw 1 Smith, 2 Smith, 3 Smith.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw a list with 4.
Okay.
In general, I think Smith is not going to be worthwhile in this deck. I wrote about that in my article this week, which is live right now. But it does provide even more resilience, and when the deck is being targeted as much as it will be in the coming weeks, that resilience could be very necessary. So it might, I could see it end up being a metagame decision where there are metagames where you want to be more explosive and you don't play it, and metagames where you want to be as resilient as possible, and then maybe you do play it. This is a matchup where the resilience is, I think, somewhat beneficial. You are an interactive deck, but if I don't put you away early, those Murktide Regents could really be a problem. I just do not answer them.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, maybe some pass on the board or something, but other than that, it's going to be tricky.
I think, do I pass? Yeah,
I hope not.
I don't. I have Prismatic Endings as my removal spell. So
hey, I mean, you only need to invent a couple colors, and then you can take it down. Get some purple in there, some magenta, and then you can take this down.
I would like to sack my treasure for Chartreuse.
yeah. All right, so let's battle. Let's battle. It feels good to be back in Modern. Okay, decent start.
I've even got Snow Basics. Why don't I have Anthonice as my removal spell on the side?
That would probably be a good one.
At least I remember to give you Snow Basics, unlike Brad the other day.
Yeah, Brad and his Is It Snow deck just had regular basics. I'm like, I'm sorry, you cannot animate that Faithless End, Brad. Rob hates you.
A little versus live hazing, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's the new guy.
He's the new guy. Yep. How'd your hand?
You go first.
Oh yeah, sweet. Yeah, it's fine. I'll keep.
You don't get to know that my hand is heinous.
Heinous. Okay, good.
4 lands, 2 drums, and a sentinel.
Oh, you didn't sneak that off?
I did have Horizon Canopy and Inkmoth Nexus. So Urza Saga Horizon Canopy.
Okay.
So I had some lands that did things, but still definitely not good enough.
Yeah, still. And honestly, what is kind of crazy is there is not a lot of Urza Sagas running around. Like, not as much, you know?
You don't see as many of the food decks or amulet decks. Those are the two decks that have dropped off recently. These fair Rogovan decks have really done a good job of finding the right tools to overwhelm those archetypes. So I think that's part of the reason that the Hammer deck has started getting better, because all of those decks, all of the fair decks were tuned to beat other decks that were popular a couple weeks ago.
But yeah, if we start seeing like Kataki, right? That's the 2-1.
Yep.
Yeah, Kataki, you know,
Kataki
like
Wars Wage.
Shatter Spree, you know, like all these anti-artifact cards, like could get rough for that deck again. But I think it honestly is good enough to fight through at least some hate. If you go overboard hating on a matchup, it doesn't matter what deck you are. Modern, you can be hated out. You know, like the modern sideboard cards are good enough, but it takes a lot of slots. You know, I'm thinking like 6, 7 anti-artifact, anti-hammer slots to really, you know, hate out a deck. And then you're really weak to other stuff, you know? Yeah.
And I wonder if that's where the modern metagame is going, where all these fair, you know, Prowess and Murktide Regent and Rakdos, all the fair Rogovan decks and fair Dragon's Rage Channeler decks are generally just going to be the week in, week out best decks, and you're always going to have to find the linear decks that they're unprepared for.
Yeah.
Where a couple weeks ago it was food and amulet, and now it's hammer, and maybe there's something else that'll pop up in the next week or two.
Yeah, and honestly, I've taken the week off from modern challenges. I've been playing them constantly, but now that I'm moving into my new house, haven't had time to play, and now it just feels like the modern metagame has changed so much in 1 week. It's kind of crazy. But, you know, that is the joy of modern.
Yep, and we're still, you know, we haven't really gotten to that steady state yet. We're still exploring.
We're getting close, though. These are a lot of the really good decks that we're playing today. We're really establishing a metagame.
And unfortunately, this hand has no mana, so that one will go back too.
Oh, no. Welcome back to the show, buddy. Rob, you got a question? You got any questions here?
I do. Cold Duck Boy wanted to know, do you think...
Cold Duck Boy, huh?
Cool.
Oh, cool Duck Boy. Okay, all right.
As opposed to a lame Duck Boy.
Yeah, get that duck a sweater if he's cold.
Do you think Enchantress can be a real player in Modern, or is it just going to always be one of those tier 3 archetypes that'll pop up like for a weekend, you know, when things are like unstable? Or
I think at this point it has went to even below like tier 2. I think at this point it's a meme. Like, you know, I think below tier 2 is just meme status, and I just don't think it's a good enough deck. Those kind of decks were really good when there weren't these kind of crazy answers like Maelstrom Pulse that you can just point at anything, kill it, you know, Skyclave Apparition. You know, our decks really don't have a ton of ways to beat Enchantress that we're currently playing right now. But otherwise, there's so many decks that have a lot of sidestep around them. And yeah, I just don't think the deck's good enough. What do you think?
I agree that it's more of a fringe archetype to me, and I don't think it's going to get better than that for now. But I would diagnose its problem a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I think the key issue for it is lack of efficiency.
Yeah.
And that's what Modern Horizons 2 is, just ratcheted up the efficiency with these with the introduction of these really cheap threats, from Asmore to Rogovan to Dragon's Rage Channeler to Murktide Regent. All incredibly cheap, incredibly efficient, and has forced the removal to get that much more efficient.
Yeah.
But the Enchantress decks, they only have the one Utopia Sprawl. I think if they had Wild Growth as well, like they do in Legacy, that would go a long way towards helping them. Instead, they're forced to play usually Arbor Elf alongside Utopia Sprawl if they want another accelerant, and that was just too easy to answer. And they're pretty good at dodging the removal with Greater Oromancy and Sterling Grove now, but I don't think they consistently like get their game plan enacted in time, especially if they have to take turns off casting those protection cards so that they don't just lose their key pieces to the removal that you mentioned. So that plays a part, because they're forced to then slow down so that they're not vulnerable to that removal, but then they need to, you know, then they just don't have enough time. They get raced too often.
Yeah, those kind of decks were a lot better when like the aggro decks of the format were like Boomer Jund, you know, like when you were attacking with Goyfs and stuff. But now, I mean, 1 mana 3/3s, you know, 2 mana 6/6s. Like these are the norm, and it's just the format's too fast.
Yeah, you have enough resiliency to overcome some counter spells, some discard spells, some removal spells, and some combination of those. But you can't overcome that when your opponent is also killing you on turn 5 or 6.
Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree. So yeah, I think the deck just isn't quite good enough. And maybe the one reason why it's just not picked up with a lot of players is we were just in the pandemic for so long, no one wants to be in solitary confinement anymore. You know, I think that's it. Wouldn't you think, Rob?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool. Rob, you're supposed to agree. Come on.
Moving on.
I can't let you get away with that.
Okay. You can't keep getting away with it.
I have an okay 5-card hand. I think it's pretty clear I want to put an extra land back and this poopy Shadow Spear.
Okay. Ooh, it's Ragavan.
Well, normally my deck is very good against Ragavan.
It is. You have a lot of
do not have a 1-mana creature.
Okay.
So just play a Drum and Pass.
Well, I guess let's start the monkey business. All right, you're gonna go to 18. I'll play this.
You get a treasure.
Yep, take a treasure. Thank you. I'm gonna Thought Scour myself. A mill. A draw. And let's go with. I'm gonna take 2. Go to 18. Cast a Serum Vision. A draw. A scry. I don't think I need another one of these. And I don't think I really need another one of those, even though they're decent spells. So I'm going to put them both to the bottom, and I'm going to pass to you.
Yeah. Got Urza's Saga, Chapter 1.
Okay.
I will play an Ingenious Smith.
Ooh, 2-mana 1/1. You got me.
I guess I'll find a Colossus Hammer.
Okay. Yeah, my Ragavan hits are not that good against you, believe it or not.
Then I'll play an Ornithopter, get a counter on the Smith.
Okay.
And do I want to play this hammer right now? I think I do. So I'm going to use the Ornithopter with the drum since the Smith can trade for Ragavan.
Okay.
Play hammer and pass.
Not what I wanted to draw there. But I'm going to start with Unholy Heat. Then I'm going to attack with the Ragavan.
I'll go to 16.
What you got?
Another land.
Obviously. Get a treasure, thank you. My draws have not been good off my blue cards here. In fact, they've been awful. So I'm just going to play land tapped and pass to you.
Okay, Chapter 2 on the Saga.
Okay.
Play another drum.
Okay.
Use 1 drum for a white with Ornithopter.
Okay.
Play Pure Steel Paladin.
Okay, that resolves.
I am expecting a removal spell in response. So against any sort of red removal, it would generally be better for me to just try to equip the Ornithopter, especially with the second drum. Or he kills the Ornithopter in response, I just move over to the Paladin, and I feel great. The card that really punishes me for that is Archmage's Charm.
Ooh, yeah.
You can then just steal the Ornithopter, and I will be in very bad shape.
Yeah, that's nice.
However, if I just go to equip the Paladin and you kill it in response, that is also not good.
Yeah, it's a dilemma. So I guess one's instant death, one's a little less value. Not instant death, too. It'd only be 14.
If you were making the...
It'd only be 12.
If you gain control of the hammer, does it unequip for my Paladin?
If I just gain control of the hammer, no, I think I have to re-equip it.
Well, if you do it in response, because it says attached to target creature you control.
Yeah.
If Corey gains control of the hammer in response, but I don't. I think that'll
it's still
go
being
through.
equipped, and then I'll have
Yeah.
to pay mana to unequip it.
What do I want to play? What do I want to play around?
Dilemma.
I think if you just had Archmage's Charm and didn't have the red removal, I don't think you would have taken this risky line where I could just equip to the Paladin and you would, be in very rough shape. So I think if you have Charm, you probably have red removal as well. So I should just play around you having neither. So yeah, I'll try to equip to Ornithopter.
In response, I will Unholy Heat this,
Sure.
and then I'll bolt this.
Okay, yeah, 2 red removal spells will also very much do it. And that's not good. You're up.
All right, give me a good one. Ooh, that was a good one. Okay, I'll attack.
I will go to 14.
Give me a playable card, please. Hooray! We got an Ornithopter. Thank you. I will play this. So you're going to be able to get something with that Urza Saga. All right, I'm going to play... I guess I don't have to play... Yeah, I do have to play this line. I'm going to play Snapcaster, and I'm going to Expressive Iteration.
Okay. And you have played your land?
I have, yep. I'll be playing Murktide, and I want this to my hand, and this on bottom. Get rid of these. 3, 4, 5. Let's just max this out.
Yeah.
We got an 8/8. All right, pass to you.
Oh, looking good.
Admittedly, the Snapcaster was a good draw because I had lands.
Okay. When am I getting this Urza Saga?
Would you like to float a mana with that?
Yeah. We're floating one.
Okay. You better get one heck of a magic card here, Mr. Merriam. Because things on this side of the battlefield are getting a bit murky for you.
Okay. I think I have to get
Can we get a laugh track?
Shadow Spear.
Can we invest in a laugh track since you guys do
Yeah.
not play along enough?
Well,
Since I don't get genuine laughs from y'all anymore.
look,
can I
once
a
we get
laugh
the
track?
live studio audience back, it'll be fine.
Yeah, no kidding.
Use
There's
the
only
one-
2 shows really that have been dying to get the studio audience back. Price is Right and The Versus Live, that's it.
Use the one floating, play a Stoneforge Mystic.
Okay.
We're the peak
get
of
me
competitive
another
magic
hammer.
and the peak of every game show.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You don't have that many lands there, Ross.
Well, I drew another one.
Okay. Stop. Hammer time.
So now I could use 2 mana to equip the Shadow Spear, but I think the only way I win this game is by drawing Pure Steel Paladin and being able to make a giant lifelinking Stoneforge Mystic and hoping you have nothing. Well. Okay, I'll equip the Stoneforge Mystic.
Okay.
And you can go.
Okay, I guess I shouldn't have told you that, huh? All right, I top decked a good one. Expressive.
I can't beat a bolt.
Iteration. We'll put this here. I'll put this here. I guess I didn't have to show you that, but I wanted to anyways. I will cast my... In this deck, it's Dark Ritual instead of actually Thought Scour.
Dark Ritual cantrip.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Ooh. That's probably a good one.
But now you have Artifact Instant Sorcery Creatures, so your
Yep.
Holy Heat kills my Stoneforge anyway.
And I top deck this, which is probably pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll attack.
I'm very dead.
Okay.
Wasn't drawing the Pure Steel anyway.
That card is the one I'm the most afraid of. That card is disgusting against me.
Yeah.
Oh, I do not want to see you have that.
Well, hopefully I will draw it this game, along with 7 cards in my opening hand.
Yeah. That might help. Welcome back to Versus. I mean, honestly, what more of a welcome back than you mulliganing to 5 on your first game and drawing like 7,000 drums? We like it. Hey, Rob, you got any questions from our lovely studio audience?
I don't at the moment. Oh. We just discussed they weren't here, Corey. Come on.
Oh, okay. How about the fake people in the computer box? You got any from them?
No, but somebody did say they did laugh, so hopefully that counted for you.
Okay, good. That's all that matters. As long as we get one. If I can make a bad joke that hits one person, That's good because it's usually me.
I want Rob to have a board of sound effects, but instead of an actual like laugh sound effect, it's like the dead silence, no laughter sound effect.
Yeah, or just crickets.
Yeah.
The crickets. Yeah.
Crickets would be good. Yeah. Dan can probably do that in post, right? I wonder how many crickets he adds to just, some bad jokes or something, or what kind of sound effects he really adds.
Can you get like a
Well, I mean,
GIF
Dan
of-
doesn't edit this show, so.
Oh, okay. So probably 0
Yeah.
would be the answer, huh?
Can you get a GIF of Lee Trevino in Happy Gilmore every time Happy goes off on the golf course and looks over and Lee Trevino's just standing there with his eyes wide going like,
I don't think he can do that, but he can probably get a GIF.
I was going to make the exact same joke. I 100% was, and then you just took it.
I got you, buddy. I got you. You've been hanging out with me too long. You're making bad jokes, except that one's just accurate. It's GIF.
it's GIF.
Wow. What are we going to Jiffy Lube or a GIF? Oh.
Corey out here trying to get us new sponsors.
Yeah. Our new sponsor is Giffy Lubes. Well, this is a winner. I have so many good cards. I have so many good cards.
$10, we won't keep it.
Can I just keep this hand as my day pay? I think this would count. I'd be rich. How's your hand, Ross? Are you a fan?
It's not very good.
Okay. I mean, the third mulligan's the charm. The third one is what really sets you apart from amateurs and pros.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's close to being good.
Ooh. Well, I'm sure you'll top deck exactly what you need.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not-
mulligan. This one's not
Yeah.
so good.
I am not confident that this is a keep, but I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Okay. Well, I'm in. Mine was not worth mentioning at all because it had no lands. But you never know what was on top. If I had one land, that hand was sweet. One land and Serum Visions, count me in. All right, let's try this again. Okay. We're liking this. Okay, I'm going to keep, and I think we can get rid of this extra card, and let's do it.
I've got Canyon, I'll go to 19 and play a Sigarda's Aid.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I'm winning. Hiya. Now it's tempting what we want to play here. I think I'm going to go like this and pass to you.
God. Okay, well, I almost got punished for making the right play, but then I drew and didn't get punished.
Okay.
I'll play Inkmoth Nexus, go to 18 and play Esper Sentinel.
In response, I will go to, I think I can safely just go to 19. Yeah, that's fine.
I was thinking about just running out the blind needle turn 1 and naming Scalding Tarn. You would have been so mad.
I would have been mad. That would have been not cool. All right, I am going to Thought Scar myself. A mill.
This is, of course, in
A draw.
response to Sentinel, so no
Yep.
trigger there. You're tapped out, though?
I'm tapped out.
I think I should just make an 11/11 Esper Sentinel. I don't think you can kill that.
Yeah, that's not good for me.
Pass the turn.
That's not good for me at all. Yeah, yikes.
This thing got a lot better when I drew that Esper Sentinel.
I bet. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have even searched for this island. That was probably loose. All right, I'm just going to play a Ragavan and I'll pass to you. This could be a quick one.
I'll go to 17 and play an Esper Sentinel.
Okay.
I will attack you for 11.
Attack me for 11, eh? All right, I'll take it.
And for 4 damage, I'll play Shadow Spear.
Oh,
Why don't we make it 12?
let's make it 12, why don't
You
we?
go to 7, I go to 29.
All right.
Okay, pass the turn.
Attack.
So I think the only thing that Corey can do to save himself is play an Archmage's Charm. And I don't want him to have mana up when he casts it. So I'm going to try to trade.
Okay. And I can deal 9 to it. Does that count?
The tilter would be if you had a 3rd burn spell, I couldn't cast it because you got that island.
I know. I really shouldn't have gotten the island. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead. I had a good draw. I tried to go. I didn't have any removal. The turn I Thought Scoured. Otherwise, I would have held it up. But I just had Fetch Land, Thought Scour, and hoping to draw another Fetch Land to be able to play a Murktide on 2. But yeah, like you said, couldn't really beat the giant creature in game 1 at least.
Yeah. My worry there is if you had Archmage's Charm and then I just needed to draw a land because a white source, because then I could Paladin, play Needle, have Metalcraft, and re-equip everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I don't even play Needle. I just animate Nexus and don't give the cards. And I was drawing the white source, so
that would have been trouble.
That was the one. But that's why I didn't want to give you mana, because if you have Charm plus the treasure up, you can now, kill the Pure Steel Paladin in response to an equip, and then keep everything equipped on your creature.
Yeah.
And then I'm in big trouble. Though it does give me 1 fewer card towards the white source.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't play a ton of charms. I think there's only 1 in the main, but yeah, we got some good answers in the board that we're gonna need. So
well, I saw it in game 1, and it was the only card that I could lose to. So
good call. Way to play around it. So we are split 1 apiece. We're gonna head to the sideboard and figure out who's gonna take down round number 1 here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, welcome back to sideboarding here on Versus Live between Izzet Delver, sure, right, Izzet Midrange, and Hammer Time. On my end, I'm going to be taking out the 3 counter spells just because they are a little slow. On the play, they are a little bit better. And then just taking out a Serum Vision. It's the worst cantrip. Thought Scour is just insane with Murktide, and I want to make sure and draw more of those. And then just bring in EE, which is going to be excellent against you. And then a couple of Braids to deal with giant creatures. Yeah.
And then on my side, bringing in a little bit of removal, we got 2 Prismatic Endings, and there was a Path to Exile that I thumbed over when I was first looking.
You liar.
So we have a little bit. We do have 1 answer to Murktide Regent. Just mainly, don't want to get run over by the threats in that deck, because you definitely can do that if I don't come out quickly. And the Hammer deck is very, very resilient. So, I think that's what most people have been surprised about as the deck has been rising in popularity and success in the metagame.
Yep.
In just how resilient it is. So we can afford to cut away from the deck's main game plan, bring in a little removal, make sure we're not under that much pressure, and leverage those resilient aspects of the deck, especially the addition of Ingenious Smith in this list. Going to be cutting some of the speed-oriented cards in Ornithopter and Springleaf Drum. You usually do cut some number of 0-drops in sideboarding with this deck in almost every matchup. I went with Ornithopter mainly because Memnite can trade with a Ragavan on turn 1.
Yep.
And then
totally agree
cutting
with
the 1 Pithing Needle. It's horrible in game 1 since all it names is Scalding Tarn. There is Engineered Explosives in the post-sideboard games, but I still don't think that's enough for me to want to put it in my deck. Usually if I have an Urza Saga on the battlefield, you can find a way to use your Engineered Explosives before the Saga goes off if you're worried about it. And if I draw it naturally, I have to hope you also draw EE just to get a 1-for-1 trade, which is what you're trying to do anyway.
Yeah. Nope, totally agree with you on that.
Yeah. The other question is whether or not I want to bring in Sanctifier and Vec as a protection, as a pro-red creature. I think with things like Sigarda's Aid, being able to instant speed equip, a lot of the time you can play around the red removal or play through it with Pure Steel Paladin by re-equipping.
Yep.
So I don't think it's necessary to have that kind of creature in the deck, but I might be wrong there.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. All right, so let's play game number 3 here. I'm going to be on the play. Hoping for many of Ragavans on turn 1, like game 1, or just give me that sweet turn 2 Murktide draw. I'll settle for that as well. It just feels so disgusting. All right, let's do this.
It's funny how often that card is just Tombstalker, but it feels so much better because it doesn't cost it double black. Like
Yeah.
if Tombstalker costs double blue, it would be so much better, and this is just an improved version of that card.
Yep, totally agree. I think I'm gonna try this. It of course has a big problem, but we got a couple chances to get out of it.
I will keep as well.
All right, I will start by thought scouring myself. Bang, bang.
Main phase Thought Scour.
All right, and then I got a couple of baubles. I'm gonna pass to you. See the card you draw. Okay.
I will start with a Plains and a Sigardazade.
Okay.
Pass the
And
turn.
then I'll see your other card. Okay. Draw 3. 1, a 2, a 3. Pass the turn. Oh, come on. We had 3 draws on it. Oh. Punished. Punished. Oh, that was gross.
I'm going to play a Stoneforge Mystic with an Ink Moth.
Okay.
Get a Colossus Hammer and pass the turn.
All right. We're live.
So lucky.
Shut up.
Unbelievable.
All right. So now you can just win next turn. You can just win the game. Yeah, that's bad. Let's go with... Yeah, I can't really play anything proactive here, unfortunately. So I'm just going to pass to you. That was so unlucky. And the draws were not even good outside of lands. They were just really bad.
Got a Silent Clearing.
Oh, I guess I had to sack this on my turn. Can't let you respond to the fetch. So I'll take 3.
Yeah. So you're at 17.
Yep.
I'll play an Ornithopter.
Resolves.
I will play an Esper Sentinel.
Yeah, that resolves.
I will attack you for 1.
Okay, I'll take it. 16.
Pass the turn. The game for me here is to just stress Corey's mana as much as possible, and also generate card advantage if he's going to try to cast cantrips. So that's why I wanted to get the Sentinel down, even though it's a little bit less mana efficient.
Yeah, I think that's a solid play. End step, I'm going to destroy target artifact.
Trigger the Sentinel.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to resolve.
Okay.
And
I guess you could have drawn 11 cards there, huh? I guess you could have drawn 11 cards there, huh?
It changes how much mana you pay. Not
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah. It's not that good.
Yeah, that'd be absurd.
Believe me, I would have done that.
Yeah.
So now I think it's time to just get the equipment down. I think I'm gonna, just to play around the Archmage's Charm again, I'm gonna hammer up the Stoneforge.
Okay.
But I'm also going to, I guess I'd rather just draw a card with that, with this Pure Steel. So yeah, I'll just hammer up the Stoneforge and then pass.
Okay. I am so very dead. Let's go with... Let's go with Ragavan and Murktide. And I'll pass to you. Only get 2 counters on this.
On your end step, I'll go to 19.
Okay.
Play a Shadow Spear, equip up the Stoneforge.
Okay. I think I'm dead.
Yeah. I'll play another Stoneforge, get another hammer.
All right. I'm dead. Well, that was absurd. I had Murktide. This was my opener.
Yeah. And this is actually exactly lethal. It's 22 power. Corey had 6 toughness. He's at 16.
Not bad. This is my opener and some other card. So I have 3 looks at a land, and then I'm just on for this. I need a fetch land to be able to turn 2 Regent, but then I just drew another Ragavan and not land. So that was not great. But we got a little time here to stretch this one. That was a quick one. So
I'm not a huge fan of that hand. I would have liked that hand a lot more if the Ragavans were interactive cards.
Yeah.
Then you have the Regent plus interaction and
agreed. Or if it was just Steam Vents, because then I can just start with Ragavan, and I think that would be better. So, yeah, it might have just supposed to be a mulligan. But then drawing the other, I drew Bobble-Off, Thought Scour, of course, milled land first. So I had another draw at it, and then just drew Bolt, Ragavan or something. I'm like, come on. All right. Wouldn't be the start of a show if I didn't get punished for a Corey Keep, huh?
Yeah, I mulligan to 5. You get punished on the Corey Keep. We're going over our greatest hits.
The world's healing.
Yeah.
When's the somebody didn't read a card error gonna come?
Yeah, that's coming. No, that happened. I thought he was gonna draw 11 cards.
Yeah. We're getting through the set list real fast, Rob.
Well, I don't think I've learned my lesson from last game, so I will keep.
Will you now?
I will. Chat, is it going to work this time, or am I going to get punished yet again?
I'm going to keep this hand as well.
All right, I'm going to start by bobbling myself.
Interesting hand.
Don't think I want that, so I'm going to sack this.
You do know the definition of insanity, right, Corey?
Yeah, I sure do.
You're at 17.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go to 17. And then I'm going to play a bobble. And then I will bobble you. Okay. Pass to you. Draw 2. So
there's got to be some removal over there.
What was the card again?
Colossus Hammer.
Okay. Stop. Hammer time.
I play Plains and pass.
All right. Thought Scour myself. Hiya. Tilt.
Do not have Delirium yet. Just land, artifact, instant.
A lot of artifacts, though. All right. So I'm going to dash in a Ragavan.
I will go to 18.
Okay. We'll get a treasure. Then I'm going to Visions. Draw a card.
Yep.
A scry. For sure want this. Let's think on this one. I think I'm fine with it. Top. Pass to you.
I will play Ingenious Smith.
Okay.
I will take this Esper Sentinel. That was the only artifact in the top 4.
Okay.
And I will pass the turn.
All right. I will draw a magical card, play a land. Then I think I just want to do this. If I dash in Ragavan, pretty clear you'd want to block that. So I don't think I want to do that if I'm reliant on the mana, which I kind of am. So yeah, we'll just play 2 threats. This is going to get +3. We'll leave artifact land. And pass to you.
Okay, I've got a Canyon.
Okay.
I will play Sigarda's Aid.
Uh-oh.
I will Prismatic Ending the Ragavan.
Okay.
I will attack with Ingenious Smith. Definitely got to get aggressive in the face of this Murktide.
No blocks. I'll take one.
Before damage, I
Oh.
will go to 17 and play a hammer. This will get a counter.
Okay.
And you'll take 12. So I'm at 17, you're at 5.
Yep.
And I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I know it's on top, and I think I'm okay with drawing it. I could do something to not draw it. Don't think I care enough. Yeah, I guess I can't really do much about it. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Is
Is it though?
it?
It is.
It is indeed.
It's very tricky.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna draw. Let's go with E on 1. And a land tapped. And I'll attack for 6.
I will go to 11.
Pass to you.
For some reason, in my head, that started as a 5/5, but we were just talking about it as a 2-mana 5/5 flyer. And
Yeah.
I was just so scared of it being an 8/8.
Yeah, for
6/6
just
is a
2
lot
turn
better.
clock. Yeah, 6/6 not so bad.
This is still a little awkward.
I just play that Esper Sentinel right away.
Yeah, I guess first things first is... Yeah, there's no artifact that I can extend to get an extra point in here unless I throw away another card, which I don't want to do. So, attack.
Yep.
He blows up those 2. You take 2.
Yep.
Brings you to 3.
I'm down to 3. And I was contemplating leaving back Murktide Regent, but I think I need to go to aggressive. And I was pretty sure it was only going to be 2 or 3, so I could leave it back next turn if I need to. We'll see what's up.
And I awkwardly drew another Sunbaked Canyon.
Okay.
And I don't want to tap both of them and put myself to 9 and be dead to a bolt if I don't have to.
Good call.
So I'm going to play a Springleaf Drum.
Okay.
I'm going to play an Esper Sentinel.
Okay, you get a counter on that. Yep.
Get 1 counter.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use the drum and a Sunbaked Canyon, go to 10.
Put you to 10. Yep.
And play a Stoneforge Mystic.
Okay.
This will get me another hammer.
Okay.
Or do I want the Shadows here? Because you're only at 3.
Yep.
So it's not like I need to deal a ton of extra damage. You've got 3 cards in hand?
3 cards. They're all busted.
Oddly enough, both a hammer and the Shadow Spear let me create a second lethal attacker next turn, because this is already lethal by itself, and I only need 1 more power to make this combination of 2 attackers lethal.
So Hammer doesn't do that. Hammer doesn't do that then, right?
Yeah, it makes one of them big enough. So I already have 1 lethal attacker.
Yeah, but how do you equip the Hammer?
Oh, don't you worry.
Oh, okay. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, don't you worry.
I was just fishing for information, really.
Yeah, I'm going to get the Shadow Spear,
Okay.
just in case Corey has like a bunch of blockers, and then I'll
Okay.
pass the turn.
All right. Hiya. That was a decent draw. Now the question is, do we want to stay aggressive and try to win next turn, or do we want to play defensive? But like Ross was saying before, your deck is very resilient. So I would prefer to just try to kill you. Let's see. If it's pure steel paladin, you can just re-equip to that. But yeah, you don't have another equipment, so I don't think I'm super afraid of this right now. So yeah, I'm gonna attack. I'm going for it.
I got a 4.
Pass to you.
No other plays. Okay, I will cast Pure Steel Paladin.
Okay.
I will tap Paladin and to the drum, make a white, play Shadow Spear.
And that's when it comes into play,
Yes.
right?
So Shadow Spear on the stack. You have priority.
I am going to respond with an Abrade to deal 3 damage.
Trigger Esper Sentinel.
I'll pay. Shadow Sphere resolves.
Draw a card.
Yep.
I would like to equip the Esper Sentinel.
Okay.
I would like to attack for 3 damage.
I would like to Unholy Heat this. And hope that ends the game.
Doesn't end the game just yet.
Dang it.
Land instant artifact.
Yep, it was not delirious.
Okay, so you take 1, you go to 2.
Yep.
I will play Ornithopter Memnite and equip Shadow Spear to the Ornithopter so it doesn't
Okay.
go Unholy Heat.
Yeah.
And I'll pass the turn.
All right. Gotta find something. I do not have you yet. Okay, but I got options. All right, we'll start with Expressive Iteration.
I still can't beat a Lightning Bolt because you can just kill the Ornithopter.
Yeah, that was not great.
Iteration also gives you Delirium, so Unholy Heat would also do it at this point. And any red removal kills me.
Yep.
EE kills me because you EE on 0.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have put the equipment on the Stoneforge Mystic. I was just thinking pumping the power for whatever reason, but it's clear that you had a removal spell. So I should have just made you kill the worst creature.
Yeah, I think I still would try to kill Esper Sentinel, but yeah, I concur. Now,
And I would be at 6 and you would be at 1, which is a big difference when I have a Memnite.
yeah. Well,
I could even move the Shadow Spear to Ornithopter and have 4 1-power creatures.
this is rough. So I can just play out the turn where I can live through your next turn no matter what. And even attack. Then I die to a lot of things. Yeah, I don't know if I really have an option. So my option is I can either Thought Scour myself or just play 2 blockers. And Thought Scour could find me the removal I need, but if I brick, now I'm just dead. So if I hit a land or something, I just die. So I don't think that's worth it. So now is the question do I think I can attack with Murktide Region? I'm only going to block 1 thing anyways. My other 2 blockers, yeah, I'm going to attack.
I'll block.
Okay.
So I'll go to 5.
Yep, and then I'll play a couple of channelers, and I'll play a land, and I'll pass to you.
I also got punished for finding Shadow Spear. I think I wouldn't last turn if I had just found Hammer.
Yeah, probably.
Because you have to, I go to equip Stoneforge, you have to unholy heat in response, and then I can just re-equip.
Yep, that would have been bad. Yep,
Yeah,
now you have
and
the
so I'll
option
go
to
to
do
4.
this. So now you have a lot of draws and another equipment here. Or Path, or Prismatic Ending. I feel very behind. Am I dead? I like this. I like this. Slam it.
Yeah, 3 bricks.
Woo! We needed to fade a lot. We needed to fade a lot. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, all I can do is
Equip. I can block. You go to 7,
Yeah.
but then these kill you.
yeah, and you can't make that. Both equipping the wrong creature the previous turn and finding the wrong equipment the turn before that
Yeah.
led to me losing that game at 1, or they would have forced you into different lines.
Yep. God, isn't Modern
So-
great? These tiny, tiny decisions dictated the
Yeah.
game. That was a great game.
And there were definitely things that you could have had that I think that would have made getting Shadow Sphere better.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
you ended up having channelers. I don't know if you had those the last turn.
Expressive Iteration saw me 2 channelers.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you could have had those the previous turn, but you had other stuff too.
Yeah, I had Thought Scour, Expressive Iteration, Abrade, Unholy Heat at that point.
Yeah.
And then I just iterationed into the 2 channelers. Yeah. I was still wondering if channelers were even in my deck. I haven't seen them up until this point.
Yeah, so that's hard to say, because I think if I go for another hammer,
Yeah.
then your channelers look a lot better, and you end up racing me with those
Yeah.
because you just get to chump block a ton.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a lot of chump blocker, so that's the big problem. Just chump blocking with channeler.
Yeah, because I only
Yeah.
have the 1 hammer, so
Yeah.
I'm going to make 1 big creature.
True.
Though it gets awkward for you. I guess you iteration, play 1 channeler, and then unholy heat the Ingenious Smith.
Yeah.
And chump block for a turn, then next turn play another channeler, chump block for another turn, have a braid up in case I find the Shadow Spear.
Yeah. You actually had a way to win on the turn you attacked with, or the turn where I abraded your Ingenious Smith.
Yeah.
You didn't really know it, I guess, but if you would have not played Shadow Sphere and just attacked, then you can, and I think you have to leave back Stoneforge Mystic. No, I guess that doesn't work because I just double removal at that, but I'm saying putting an artifact into play at instant speed to make it a 4/4.
Yeah.
I would have just had to point 2 removal spells there, but then you only get to attack with the other 1 power creature. So I actually would have gained 1 extra life, but you would have had 1 extra creature because of it. And I was like, dang it, without Delirium, I kind of put myself in a hole. I was just hoping you didn't have another instant speed equipment. But then I think I was dead anyways. So yeah, that was a tough game.
So I think the Shadow Spear line is actually fine. I think you just had lines around both.
Yep.
But the real key was me not either keeping the Esper Sentinel around, which would have drawn me even more cards.
Yep.
Or at least 1 more card, I would say. Or forcing you to take an extra point of damage, which would have lost you the game. So I either get 1 extra look at it. I didn't look at what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Or if you decide that you don't want to give me the extra card and take the extra damage, then you're going to lose anyway.
Then I die. Yeah. That was a great game. That was a really great game. That was a tough one. But now you're on the play. I'm very afraid. Alrighty. Well, this hand is still not bad, at least. But your best draw when you're on the play beats my best draw, I think, which is scary.
I will keep this hand.
Okay, let's do it.
I will play Inkmoth Nexus, Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, White Sigardazade,
Ooh.
and pass the turn.
All right. That's not good. It's an interesting draw. It's a very interesting draw. You got how many cards?
3. See, I started with 7. I played 4 on turn 1.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna bobble myself. It's not bad. Let's see. If you would have had another 0-drop creature, you probably would have played it. Yeah, I don't think it's good enough, though. So I'm going to go to 17. I'm going to play this. And I'm just going to bolt this. Then I'll pass to you and draw a card. Ugh.
Okay, I'm going to play Silent Clearing, go to 19, and play a Stoneforge Mystic.
Okay.
To get a hammer and pass the turn.
All right.
Could have just made an 11-12 Stoneforge here, but I think in the face of things like Abrade and Engineered Explosives, that's probably not good enough.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I like the idea of having this Inkmoth Nexus threatening.
I'm going to play Ragavan, and I'll pass to you. Ragavan. Ragavan. Yeah, your draw was nice. Nice so far.
It's not a bad draw.
Uh-oh. I wish you wouldn't.
Play an Inkmoth, use the new one to animate the old one.
Okay.
Attack for 1.
No blocks.
Before damage, I'll take 1 to play Colossus Hammer.
All right, I'm
19.
dead.
I just drew the second hammer. Yeah.
That's what I figured. I was like, the only way you're going for this is if you draw another hammer, and the only chance is that you just don't go for it. And without the other hammer, I doubt you go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I would have just bought the Lyris.
Yeah, which would have still been good.
And had path up. So if you go to kill the Stoneforge Mystic, I just path your Ragavan and then start grinding you up with Lyris.
Yeah, my draw just wasn't interactive enough. I honestly didn't have any interaction, but it was still just a nice 3-land Bobble, Ragavan, Murktide, Expressive Iteration hand, like just a solid hand, and then drew the bolt. And I was thinking with you leading on Inkmoth Nexus that you didn't have another land, possibly, so that it would be worth it to try to kill Ornithopter there. But with how your hand was set up, it was wrong, you know? But
and in fact, I just had enough lands and wanted to have the threat of the Inkmoth kill to stress your mana. And so, yeah, just a bit of a wrong read, a risky line on your part. But it's a risky line from certainly a position of weakness, which is where you tend to take those.
Yep, exactly. And it was like, yeah, even if I don't just bolt it there, I guess I just still have to leave up Lightning Bolt, otherwise you can just kill me.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're just Stone Rain the entire game.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you leave up just the 1 mana and I draw the second hammer, you're dead. So sometimes you got to leave up 2, and then, maybe I call your bluff, or maybe I just make 2 big creatures. And it gets awkward.
Either way, it just really shows the power of that deck. You know, when you play it in such a way where you're not just jamming your hammers no matter what. Like that deck is exactly what you said. Very resilient if you play it right.
The key here
But if you play it poorly, it's an easy deck to beat.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
You definitely have to be very patient. The deck has so much resilience that you don't have to go for the kill all the time. I think this deck is essentially a very improved Infect deck.
Infect deck, I totally agree. Infect, the way it is now, is just not good enough because you can just kill their creatures because they're a creature deck. You just kill their creatures and you're fine. But here, you're a combo deck where you combo with creatures and equipment, but it doesn't feel the same. You know?
It's because so many of the creatures generate card advantage. Pure Steel Paladin generates card advantage. Esper Sentinel generates card advantage.
Yeah, Esper Sentinel
Ingenious Smith generates card advantage. Urza Saga generates card advantage. So all the creatures in the Infect deck are just cheap creatures that get on the battlefield and need to attack you. There's just no card advantage in that deck, so there's so much less resilience. And because they don't have the 1 mana +10/+10, they have to devote so much of their deck to pump spells. They don't have as many creatures. Stoneforge Mystic is both a threat and an extra copy of your Colossus Hammer, a threat and a pump spell. Infect doesn't have any card that plays that dual role, so they create more inconsistency because they have fewer total threats and just as many pump spells. So
and it's like your card to speed yourself up in the Infect deck is just like Noble Hierarch. Here, you have Drum with 0 drops is disgusting. It's as close to Mox Opal as you get. So yeah, impressive stuff. Nice work there. Next round, we're going to be playing. I'm really excited for this deck because I don't think we've actually played it on the show, even though it was the deck of the week or deck of the 2 weeks. For like 2 weeks, it was just the best deck, and that is this Rakdos mid-range deck that Aspiring Spike played. And I don't think, maybe you played it, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure.
I don't think so, but I'm really excited to try that. And you got a spicy one that we've been hyping up for weeks.
Yeah.
When we played our standard preview season. What do you got?
Playing Dimir Mill, and deck did pretty well last weekend. There were 3 copies of Dimir Mill across the 2 top 32s.
Okay.
1 in the top 8. All 3 copies playing 4 copies of Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which we were very impressed by in standard.
Yeah.
It should be even better in modern with all the low curves.
Yeah. I'm excited, and I have some great synergies, but we'll see if, my escape cards and stuff are going to be enough to take down Mill. I truly don't know. It could be a rough one. So we're going to take a short 5-minute break. And we'll be
real quick.
What's up?
We're having a small issue, so I'm going to take it down real quick, restart some things, and hopefully that'll fix our small issue we're having. So it'll be a little longer than 5 minutes, but it shouldn't be too much longer. So sorry about that,
I haven't
everybody.
been here. It can't be my fault.
Yeah, so is Brad.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be right back after we fix Brad's problem that he created. So, yeah, we'll see you back here soon, y'all.
Welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Ballmeister.
And we've got a Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. It is match 2 of our show today, exploring the cards of Adventures in the Forgotten Realms that have made an early impact on the modern metagame.
Yep.
So far, Ingenious Smith in match 1, it looked fine. It didn't make a huge impact on the matches, but it was a solid card, especially in that 4th game, where it got up to a 3-3 and found me an extra card.
Yeah, the games where I try to interact a lot, it looked okay. The games where I just did my big things, it looked bad.
Yeah. So I think probably outperformed my expectations of the card in that match, and just looked solid. Here, we're going to be testing my favorite card for the new set for Modern. That is Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Yeah.
As we were saying before the break, we did play this card during preview season in Standard, and we're very impressed by it.
Yeah, you destroyed me repeatedly with your mill deck. It was crazy. You're doing Secret Keepers, and it was a fun show. Watch back on that one if you haven't seen it.
That's that one. That VOD is on the YouTube channel now. And now we're going to play it in Modern, where curves are even lower. Corey's playing the Rakdos mid-range deck that has been very popular, has stayed successful over several weeks now. And that's generally a good sign. But that deck the main deck has a total converted mana cost of 50. So if I pass 2 Tasha's Hideous Laughters, it's likely that you have, under 10 cards in your library. Especially because you start with 7 in your hand. So it's, I think, 50 out of, if your total CMC is 50, then if you hit 20 CMC, that's on average 24 cards. So your average should be around there, because obviously, if you wanted to do the calculation, you'd have to figure out how many times you're hitting 21 or 22 when you're going over instead of exactly 20. So you probably would just want to do a Monte Carlo simulation to figure that out. Rather than try to find a closed form solution. But I'm a math person, so I always try to find the closed form solution.
We know you do, Rob.
Doing it the easy computer science way. Either way, it's going to exile a lot of cards.
It's going to exile a lot of cards. That's the mathematical term for it. So, and I have a lot of removal that will be okay. You got crabs and stuff, so I can still kill those, but for the most part, they're not going to be insane. And I'm just going to have to Thoughtseize those. And the deck doesn't have an extremely fast clock, so that's going to be my challenge, is putting pressure on you.
It does have a pretty fast, faster than
Channeler and Ragavans. Yeah, it's another Channeler Ragavan.
I'm milling you into Kroxa. Kroxa's the big clock.
True. But you could be exiling me into Kroxa, and then I'm not cool with that. All right, let's do it. Let's have some fun. I'm going to start, and this hand is incredibly awkward. Is it keepable? I don't think it... Yeah, this hand cannot be keepable.
Yeah, there's no way that's keepable.
Hey, there's always a way. When you have 7 cards, there's a way you can keep it, Ross.
I don't think my hand is that good either, but I am loath to mulligan against heavy discard decks, and the hand is definitely functional, and it's solid. It doesn't look good right now because not all of the cards are coming together, but they should come together within a couple turns with a few draw steps.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep it.
You're going to keep it, okay. Ooh. Well... I do think I want to keep this. It's slightly awkward. But yes, I will keep. I'm going to put this on the bottom. And then I'm going to start by bobbling you. Oh, that card. And then I'm going to Inquisition you.
Okay, Inquisition cannot take land or archive trap, but you got a couple options.
Okay. So I know you are drawing your Drown in the Loch. Not necessarily great for your hand.
It does make taking this other Drown a little awkward.
Yep.
It's definitely an attractive card to take here if you don't know about the one on top.
Yeah, and Surgical is just a really good card.
Nice one against Kroxa in particular.
Exactly. So I think I honestly want to... Yeah, I would definitely take Drown in the Law if I didn't know you had another one. That's the main thing here. That's kind of a tilt.
But I could still see it being right.
Yeah, I could still see it being right as well. Archive Trap isn't that big of a deal. I'm not really gonna...
Well, can't take that one anyway.
Well, good call. Good call. And then...
That's why it's over here with the lands.
Yeah, I am still gonna take Drown in the Law.
Yeah.
And then I'll pass and draw my card.
I will draw my Drown, play a Flooded Strand, and pass the turn.
Okay. Okay. Now let's go with... do want to get something on the battlefield here.
This is a question of Corey evaluating which threat he'd like to die to drown.
Yep, pretty much. I'm going to put a Voidwalker into play, and I'm going to pass to you.
Normally, you want to leave your fetch lands uncracked because of crab top decks, but I don't have a blue source that isn't a fetch land, so I might as well save myself some life.
Yep.
And get a tapped Water Grave on the end step.
Put you to 19.
You got 3 in hand?
I got 3.
Not very many.
Not very many cards, no. I shouldn't have mulliganed. I think that was a rookie mistake. That is exiled. Right?
Well, let's just say I fetched in response.
Okay.
Because you're tapping out. I took some time to explain to our audience what my decision was.
Well, it took time to explain what a bad play you just made.
Okay, I will play another Flooded Strand, and this doesn't say play. Oh, it says play. Okay. Yep. Interesting. I will just pass the turn still.
Okay, I am...
This could get awkward against a discard spell that would force me to crack this Strand in response and kill the Voidwalker. And then I could give Corey an extra land drop, but I don't think you have land that you can find off Flooded Strand.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
There are lists of that deck that do splash white for Prismatic Ending.
Yeah,
that would be a disaster, especially if you didn't have a red source.
Yeah,
you get to find Sacred Foundry.
Okay. Well, I drew a card that kind of changed my game plan. I was gonna do something else. Maybe it's still correct. All right, I'm going to start with the Thoughtseize.
Okay, I'll fetch in response.
Okay.
Go to 18.
All right.
You have 2 cards in graveyard, right? Yeah.
2 cards, yep.
Inquisition. I'm not sure if you can do anything to exile them.
We're going to find out.
Like, Surgical would just add another card to the graveyard, and you don't main deck that.
Yep.
It would have to be, like, Fairy Macabre.
Yeah. I play lots of those.
I'm just going to drown the Voidwalker in response.
Okay. Sure.
And
I believe that is still exiled with a counter then on it if you destroy it,
no,
right?
it's with damage-based spells that they get exiled.
Oh, with damage. Okay. All right, and you got a Fractured Sanity. And that is milling how many?
14.
14. So I'm going to let you mill me here because I have a play. So now the question is, what do I care about the most? And it might just be the visions. Because 14, 13, 26, maybe I'll hit a Kroxa or something. which sounds cool. So, could just take Archive Trap as well and force you to do it the old-fashioned way. Pretty tricky. Yeah, actually, let's take Archive Trap.
Okay, brings you to 16.
Yep. And then I'm going to go to 13. And I got a Blood Crypt and a Ragavan's coming in. Okay.
Get a treasure.
Get a treasure, and that's it. Pass to you.
Interesting draw. You have 2 in hand.
2 in hand.
Which is Ragavan.
1 monkey.
This is a little awkward because Corey now has 5 cards in his graveyard, so Fractured Sanity only gets him to 19.
Yeah.
That said, I do have the Field of Ruin, so yeah, I think I've got to go Flooded Strand, go to 17.
Okay.
Get an island, and mill 14.
14. 1, 2, 3. Come on, Croxa. 6. You said 14?
Yep.
7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. 13. 14. Come on. How unlucky. 14
now,
whiffs.
I can Surgical Ragavan and get the one out of your hand.
Yeah, I did hit a Ragavan.
That will put you to 18 cards in your graveyard.
Yep.
Which means I'm not going to be able to Visions. So do I want to let you just cast the Ragavan next turn so I can Visions? I actually think I do.
Yeah.
So I'll pass.
All right. Not a great draw.
I'm at 15.
Yeah, had you have 15, now you're going to 13?
Yep.
Okay.
Still dashing.
Still dashing. Field. Then I'll play a land, and I will buy Lurrus. Pass to you.
Ragavan back to your hand?
Yep. I'd like to keep it, actually.
Yeah. Okay, let's play Field, and you're going to have red mana from this if you need it. So I think I'll just hit the Shizo, so in case I draw... Well, I think I'm exiling the Ragavans anyway, which is the only reason Shizo matters, because Channeler is going to be gigantic anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll actually hit Blood Crypt.
Okay. Blood Crypt. I'll get a mountain.
I will get another island.
Okay.
Now we have 20 cards in graveyard, correct?
Yeah, I imagine.
And I will cast Ancestor Recall.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, 20. Exactly.
And how many in hand? 3?
3, yep.
Got 33 still in your deck. I don't like that.
Still fighting. Fighting the good fight.
Fortunately, I know I'm going to draw the 3 remaining Archive Traps, and you're just going to die.
Yeah. I guess they would hit me now, huh? How good was that?
Not good.
Good.
Pass the turn.
I'll bolt you.
Puts me to 10.
Yep. Actually, do I? Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay.
Draw. On your draw step, I'll Surgical Ragavan.
Okay, of course I draw Croxa. All right. Ragavan. And, yep, go ahead.
So now we should be 3 cards lighter, so you're at 30 cards in library.
Should be. And now the question of how I want to play this. Do I want to get a threat down? Probably, with you at somewhat low life total. I'm pretty sure I got Delirium in there. Seems pretty likely. So yeah, I'm going to go with Lurrus. And I'm going to play a Channeler, and I'll pass to you. Croxa, why couldn't you have been in the graveyard? This game would have been a lot easier if I milled this.
Right, we were looking at 30, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 31.
31.
Oh, yeah, because this is an extra card. Okay. Yep. That makes sense. You know what? My hand is very bad.
Good.
I honestly think that...
God, what could you have?
I think the only way I can win is by top decking Tasha's next turn.
Okay. Touche.
Rob, can you tell
or Tasha, I should say.
Can you tell me how many basic islands are in my deck? 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's total the CMC here, since I know you have 50. Rob checks on that for me. 4, 7, 8, 10.
I mean, you got to draw it
15,
first.
14,
So.
You have 4 basic islands.
Good. That's 19 here, 23, 25, 26. So you actually have 24 CMC left in your deck.
Okay. So I can live.
That's interesting to say the least. So my hand is pretty bad.
Good.
3 lands, a counterspell, and a Fractured Sanity.
Okay.
And I drew the counterspell last turn off the Visions when I only had 1 mana up.
Okay.
If I had counterspell for Luris, it would have been great.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think what I want to do actually is cycle. I think 4, like you have 24 CMC in your deck, 4 cards plus a draw step, I think is enough, but it might not be. But it also gives me a draw towards maybe interaction or something.
Okay.
So I'm going to cycle Milieu for 4.
Okay.
Hit only 2 CMC.
Yep.
That's a tilt. But okay, that's a card. Play Hedron Crab.
Okay.
Play Polluted Delta.
Yeah.
Milieu for 3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. There's Croxarino.
And then, Crack could go to 9, get Island Milieu for 3.
Okay.
So I'm at 9.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
9's a big deal.
And then I just milled another, 7 CMC. So Tasha's exiles the rest of your deck. I can also now draw another Fractured Sanity or an Archive Trap.
Yeah.
No, I've only milled 10.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're dead. Okay. Fear. Attack for 6. Play Croxa. You counter it. Play it again.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't fetch, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, fetch was bad. You couldn't fetch. But then you couldn't leave counterspell open and you also die. Well, I guess that's not true.
No, I just discarded to one of the Crocs.
Yeah.
Right?
Fear is just you can't be legendary creature can't be blocked except by black creatures, right?
Black and artifact.
Okay, I was like, fear, it's been so long since that's actually been a keyword, but yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, I guess I hit the wrong land.
Yeah. Gotcha. I did have the treasure too, but
Had a water grave. Well, you needed 2 red to play it twice.
Yeah. True.
Drawing a water grave anyway.
Yep. All right. Hey, that was a good game. You know, it.
You didn't have double red mana to play Crox's twice in turn, or you didn't have the red mana to cast Crox's twice in turn.
Yeah, I did. I had 3 red. I had a red in hand, I had a red in play, and I had a treasure. So I actually could have cast it 3 times.
Well, you didn't have 6 mana to do that. Especially with, well, you had 6 total mana, but you
needed the Chorizo.
And you're
or
not
whatever.
allowed to cast it 3 times.
Unless I had a lot more mana to escape it. But I had enough though.
Forget. I was drawing a water grave. I was dead.
Yep. All right. Well, that was a close game. Every game against Mill, none of them like look close, right? Like if you're just an outside gamer who maybe doesn't play a lot of Modern, because it's just like, okay, yeah. I mean, you got destroyed. Your life total shows it, but you were 1 spell away from killing me there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of the. It's like playing its burn and you're at 3. That game looks a lot closer when you're playing its burn because you see it on the life pad.
Yep.
But this is the same thing. Granted, it was more like one of those games where you're at 4 and they need to draw Boros Charm.
Yeah. You needed a specific one at that point because even if you didn't, I mean, cracking the fetch. If you didn't crack the fetch, you could have not blocked with the crab, and then there's 6 more cards, and then maybe you win with Archive Trap or something. But with how it played out and me drawing that 1 of Fear land, I got to get you good. Yeah. And I shuffled in Luris. Honestly, I should just shuffle in my whole sideboard. Extra cards. Probably not the worst strategy.
I don't think it's a very good strategy.
All right, let's try this again. We do 2 pre here, and then we'll head to the sideboard.
I'll be on the play.
Good luck. Good luck. This is a hand of magical cards.
This hand sucks.
I mean, this hand isn't great, but I'm going to keep. Rob, you got any questions from our lovely audience?
Yeah, from
and we
earlier.
got the issue figured out too, right? Where everything's looking perfect?
Yeah, apparently.
Excellent.
If you were gonna, what would you play this weekend if you were gonna play a modern event?
I think I'd still get Murky. I'd play a little Murktide Regent, Ragavan, Blue-Red stuff just because I think the deck is very, very good. But that is coming from someone who didn't get to play. I'm honestly going through withdrawals, to be honest, because I didn't get to play a week's worth of Modern. I didn't get to play any Magic Online with having to do responsible adult stuff and move into a home. But I would still play the Blue-Red deck. Yeah.
I think that you can prepare for Murktide Regent well enough.
Yeah.
I've been seeing people talk about Jerry's Grixis list.
Oh.
And I've seen some examples of it. It's like the Rakdos deck, but sort of splashing blue to be a little bit better in the mirror.
Okay.
Like Snapcasters and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. It's
sort of like remember when Grixis Shadow first popped up? It was to beat the Jund Shadow decks that were initially there.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening. That is interesting to me. Like I want to be some form of Rakdos if I'm a fair Ragavan deck, because I think that is the most adaptable to beating Murktide Regent, as opposed to like the Stoneforge builds. White Room, like I just don't want to have Path Exile.
Yep.
Whereas you can play Terminates and things like that.
Yeah, that does seem good.
But I also think Hammer is just really, really good.
Yeah, I think Hammer's a strong deck too.
So those are the two I'd be deciding between. Some form of the base Rakdos Hammer or base Rakdos Ragavan deck, maybe with blue or Hammer.
I think I would personally avoid Hammer for this weekend just because it did so well last weekend that people are going to be gunning for it. You're going to put, when you have a question, if you can put that extra card in for a matchup, it's going to be Kataki. It's going to be Shattering Spree. You know, who knows if you can fight through that anyways. Kataki seems really tough for that deck, but outside of that, they don't seem that bad, you know?
Yeah, I think if you need to put in some reps to play through the hate, but I don't think there's cards that completely shut the deck down by any means.
Yeah.
You just need to know how to be patient and how to leverage your own stuff.
Yep. All right, how's that one for you?
It's better, but it's not great.
All right, bring it on.
I will lead on a Water Regrave tapped.
Okay. I will draw a card. It's a little bit of a tough spot for me. All right. I'm going to take 3.
17.
And 4 archive traps. All right. I will play Blood Crypt, or search for a Blood Crypt, I should say. I'm going to play a Channeler.
Yep.
Bobble, trigger.
Graveyard.
Graveyard. Yeah. And then I am going to bobble you now. Okay, and pass to you. Upkeep, draw.
I drew this.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a Hedron Crab that did not get Inquisition, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I will play this Delta and mill you for 3.
Okay.
And I'm gonna crack this Delta well before you get to 4 mana, so there's no reason. Like if you were already at 4 mana or getting to 4 next turn, I would try to maybe hold on to this.
Yep.
In case I was gonna hit Crocs on the next 3, but now I just want to guarantee the 3 cards. I'm gonna get a tapped Water Grave. Go to
mill
19.
3.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's Delirium. Done.
I guess I didn't check for Delirium too.
Yeah.
You would have had a spell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did not draw what I wanted, so this is super tilting. So now let's go with Inquisition you. I guess I'm going to surveil first. I don't think it's good enough. I will take Tasha's Hideous Laughter, and then I'll attack for 3.
I'll go to 16.
And I'll pass to you.
The race is on.
I don't feel good about it.
Okay, let's play Flooded Strand, mill you for 3.
Okay.
Crack to 15.
Mill for 3 again.
Yeah, got a basic island, mill you for 3.
Okay, I was hoping to hit a land off this.
Buy Luris.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Yeah, Luris is not going to do much. Especially when I Inquisition it. I do not want to bolt. I'll keep helping you mill, and then I'll attack for 3.
I'll go to 12.
Okay, pass to you.
Oh, they're going to cut you off of black mana, I assume, because I see several swamps in your graveyard. It's at 3. I can't imagine you play 4 basic swamps.
Yeah, 4 seems like too many.
So I'm at 12, which is rough. I wish I had 1 more life.
Yep.
Oh my god. Play field, mill you for 3.
Okay. There's Kroxa.
There's another mountain. How many basic mountains you got?
Oh my god, I don't know. I got at least 1.
Is that the last basic?
Yep. Well, I'm not telling you. It might be.
Okay, well, I'll get an island and mill you for another 3.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
1, 2, 3. Untap. Draw. Attack.
I'm at 9.
Channeler. Go.
I don't think I'm winning this race.
Well, I don't think my hand's doing me any favors, so I think I'm pretty all in here.
Where are my engineered explosives?
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
Fortunately for you, my hand is also not doing me any favors.
We're just drawing horribly. Uh-oh. 6.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done.
Yeah. 3,
Oh my god.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18.
Okay, you need something.
Any big mill spell again, it's the same deal.
Your go. My hand is literally the worst possible. Look at this. Wow. Can Mill do it?
You have 18 left?
I don't know. You counted.
Yeah. Yeah, you have 18, and I just drew another fetch land, so I can only hit you for 12.
Yes. Maybe the worst possible draw to get it done.
If I had saved any of these fetches for after I drew this Ruin Crab, you lose.
Yeah.
Or no, it's only an extra 3.
Only an
for
extra
each one.
3, yeah.
Yeah, so I could only gotten you to 3 cards,
4,
but
5, 6.
in this case, I kept a 5-lander and only drew 1 other spell.
Yeah, what a game of Magic. What a game of Magic. Are you not entertained out there? Come on, that was just some good clean Magic.
Oh my god.
I didn't
Top card.
I didn't cast anything. You barely did anything. That's just a good game of Modern right there. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for our first 2 games. I took down both of those. Normally, there's some Eldrazi in the sideboard here that would be really interesting to test out, and we might even add one just to check it out, but this list didn't have one. It is at the cost of Luris, you know? That is a real cost because it is a big creature, so we'll see. We'll be right back with sideboarding here. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Dimir Mill and Rakdos Midrange. On my side, trying to get a little bit more interactive here with some removal and Fatal Push, Damnation, and Staring Bridge, which is kind of quasi-removal.
Yeah.
Just keep the pressure off of me so I can win a longer game. Gonna board out some of the cards that don't let me interact very well, though. You do need to leave in some number of Surgicals and Crypt Incursions to help answer Eldrazi. Corey's going to try a proxied Eldrazi out of the sideboards.
Yeah, we're going to try an Emrakul here. This list didn't have it, but we just really want to try it out.
Yeah.
We just want to see how good it is against these mill decks.
Obviously, Surgical Extraction is better at actually exiling the Eldrazi, since you can tap out and still hit it, and then Surgical with the trigger on the stack. But Crypt Incursion, I think, is going to be necessary to have a little bit of life gain, so I'm leaving in 2 Surgicals, 1 Incursion.
Okay.
Also trimming 1 Archive Trap. I just don't want to be as turbo mill focused. And among the 12, one-shot good mill cards, Hideous Laughter is very good against Emrakul.
Yep.
So that's the one I want to keep.
Good and bad. It's also 15.
Yeah.
And
then Fractured Sanity Cycle, so it helps keep the gas flowing against the heavy discard deck.
Yep.
If that's what I need to do. So I think Archive Trap is the worst of the 3, even though it is, historically such a huge staple of this archetype. So that's the one I'm trimming on.
Okay, and for me, I'm going to take out Terminate because it's my most expensive removal spell. This is really a product of how good Murktide is kind of shaping Modern right now. A lot of lists are kind of leaning on Terminate instead of just a bunch of Fatal Pushes, even though they're much more efficient. And in this deck, Fatal Push is awesome. You have so many fetch lands. You have a lot of things that leave the battlefield. Regavan leaves the battlefield. The Treasure leaves the battlefield, So this is one of the best Fatal Push decks ever, but this is just a product that, you can't really beat Murktide if it becomes bigger than a 6/6. So taking out one Voidwalker, bringing in Lurrus since it can no longer be a companion with Emrakul, one Spellbomb, which is still nice. I'm just exiling my own graveyard, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then one more Kroxa just to hit if you mill me.
Punish my mills.
I do not want to draw this card, that's for sure. It is the one landmine in my deck, that's for sure. All right, Rob, you got any questions over there?
Yeah, so do you see this mill deck actually being a staple to format for a while now because of Hideous Laughter?
I do actually. I think it gives the deck not only a little bit more explosive power, it raises the sort of goldfish speed of the deck.
Yep.
But it gives it more resilience against the common hate. And that's what we've seen the mill deck become. It rises up for a week or two, and then everybody puts that one Guy's Blessing or that one Eldrazi in their sideboard.
Yep.
And suddenly it doesn't look as good.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Dredge, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think just gets a lot more resilient to that hate now with Tasha's Hideous Laughter in the deck.
Yep.
And now gets the cut Mesmeric Orb, which got a lot worse once everybody started putting a bunch of disenchants in their sideboard.
Yep.
Because of the food decks and now the hammer decks.
Yep.
So getting away from Orb has been good for it. So there's a lot of things that point towards the added resiliency, and that's what the deck has been missing. I don't think it's tier 1, but I think it's a deck that's going to stick around as tier 2 for a longer period of time than it has been in the past. It's not going to be a pure metagame deck.
Yep.
It's just going to be a solid deck, but not quite on the level of those tier 1 archetypes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to add to. I just think it's going to be comfortably in tier 2 where I wouldn't say it was a meme before, but it is that deck that's so easy to hate out that it's not quite below that level to meme level because it is extremely powerful. And when people are not hating it, the deck is insane. It's just very fast. It's just as fast as Burn,
Yeah.
Maybe a little slower.
While also being interactive.
While also being interactive. The Black Hand Disruption and Black Removal is still great. But yeah, I think solidly tier 2. Yeah.
Whereas before I would have said tier 2 in the right metagame.
Exactly, yeah, and meme in the wrong ones. So, yeah. All right, let's battle.
Unkeepable 7.
This hand is another questionable one, but of course a snap for me. We're in. All right, yeah, you mulliganed a lot today. You didn't shake the mulligans off on your trip, huh? You just brought them back with you.
They follow me wherever I go.
They follow you, yeah. You're cursed.
I would say I mulligan, more than the average player. Not by a ton.
Yeah.
I'm probably in the 60th percentile of mulliganers, whereas you're in the bottom 10%.
I don't know. I think I mulligan a lot more than the average person. I only keep absolutely perfect hands. They have to be ready to do something not only on turn 1, but turn 2, turn 3. I got to make sure all my plays are covered.
You Seth, and BBD. The triumvirate of Aki.
Yeah. All right, let's see how your second hand is.
This hand is much better.
Okay.
I will put that one back, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Well, it's already been brought. I will play a Flooded Stranded Pass.
Did you just bring it on me? Not cool. Okay, so I think I want to start with a Cliff, Dragon Rage Channeler.
Yep.
Bobble, trigger. Deja Vu. And then I'll pass to you.
It's cool that you can sometimes surveil the Emrakul into your graveyard too.
Yeah,
that's kind of expecting it.
That's kind of spicy.
I'll go to 19 and get a Water Grave tapped on your end step.
Okay.
happy to see no discard spell once again since I held the crab.
Hold.
Yeah.
Upkeep. Let's see what you got.
Tasha's.
Uh-oh.
But I will play a crab. I will play Delta, mill you for 3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Emrakul.
Trigger on the stack, all surgical.
Okay.
17.
What are you going to target?
I'll target the Emrakul.
Okay. Oops.
Very glad that I hit it this early when I have the surgical, so now fewer cards get shuffled in.
Oh, that was an awkward place to try to grab that. Yeah. So you're going to get this. The trigger is still on the stack. So
the rest of the cards will get shuffled.
These are going to get shuffled away.
Emrakul's exiled.
Yep. There you go.
And I get to see
my hand. Kept it one lander again.
I'll shuffle that land back in.
Yeah. Did I draw my card? I think I did, right? For Bobble?
Yeah, because that's why you...
5, 6, 7...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to draw 2 on my turn. Okay. So, surgical hits that. Do you want to check the rest of my deck?
No, you're good.
Okay, so now Emrakul trigger goes away, and you have another 3 mil. Okay, if you crack that.
Yeah.
So, this shuffles back in.
And I will do that.
Okay. Okay, you're milling 3?
Am I?
Are you?
Yeah, I don't want you to get delirium that quickly, so I'm actually just going to pass with this Delta.
Okay, and done?
Yeah.
Upkeep, I'm going to do a nice little play here. First, I'm going to draw for Bobble. Okay, I guess that changes things a little bit. Because I could bolt during my upkeep to help find a land. Or Fatal Push would probably be even better. Yeah, all right. Fatal Push. Upkeep. Trigger.
Trigger Surveil, yeah.
I'll keep that.
Okay, I will crack Delta and certainly mill your top 3.
Okay.
So I'm at 16.
Into play tapped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Is that good? All right, push resolves then.
Yeah.
Draw for my turn.
Assume Corey made this play because he drew a land.
You are correct. I will crack fetch.
Yeah. So just the Ragavan was enough because you know you're casting sorcery.
Yep.
But I also just don't want to let you cast the Ragavan.
Yeah.
So I'm at 16. You're at 17?
17, yep.
I assume we're thought seizing.
Yep, we're going to thought seize you, surveil.
Yep.
I'll leave that. And I mean, let's hit Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
You go to 15.
15. I left the card on top. I'm going to attack for 3. Put you to 13. Past you. This is looking good for me. How do you have such few cards already? I guess Surgical not getting any, not replacing it, and any mulligan.
Yeah. I'm going to cycle his visions.
Okay.
I'll play Ruin Crab.
Okay.
I'll play a land and mill you for 3.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
Alrighty. Could adjust my... I knew Blackleaf Cliff was on top. That's what I wanted. But... Upkeep. I'm going to Unholy Heat. I probably don't want Lurrus. I will draw. Now let's Thought Seize you. Surveil.
13 all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
13 Thoughtseize in the graveyard.
Put you to 10.
Yep.
Play a land and pass to you.
You have 2 in hand.
2 in hand. 1's a bolt.
13 in the graveyard, 15, 18, 19, 20. So you got 40 in library.
Yep.
To draw, I got Drown on the Lock.
Yeah, that would be good. Even your Lurrus isn't awful, but not great.
Yeah, I'll buy the Lurrus and pass the turn.
All right. Well, end step, I'll bolt you. Surveil.
Not a good sign.
Don't want this. Shoot a 7. I will draw.
I think Corey's got another bolt in hand. So you can either kill Laris with that or kill me.
I would like to kill you. I'll attack for 3.
I'll go to 4.
And past you.
Pass the turn.
Okay. End step. 2 to you and return Regavan. Trigger.
Surveil trigger's fine. Yeah, so I'm dead to 2 damage plus Ragavan if I kill the Channeler, so I've just got to counter this Kolaghan's Command with this Drown that I drew.
Yep.
And hope you don't have that other bolt. I guess Kolaghan's Command would have also been fine there.
Okay, I will play a Channeler.
Ugh.
Thoughtseize you, double trigger. Surveil.
You're keeping that on top.
For the first... Are both of my surveils resolving?
Yeah, your surveils are good.
Okay, then yep, I'm keeping it on top.
And you've got 3, 4, 5, 4, 8, 12, 17.
Yep.
Thoughtseize is going to be your 18th.
And I'm going to go to 11 if it resolves.
Yeah.
Sure, you just have a push.
No, I would have definitely cast that.
Yeah.
I have a Visions.
Ah, okay.
My only out here is the one Ensnaring Bridge.
Ah, okay.
And the question is it better for me to cast Visions? I would think not, because it's just as likely that it's on top versus the one below it. And I think you're incentivized to take Visions, though I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything I can like draw, cast Visions. There's not anything I can play for free. It would have to cost 0 and then Visions into a land and
Ross,
then play. Yeah.
Bridges in your deck, right?
Oh yeah. So I can't Luris with the bridge. Oh my god.
Oh, that's okay. You're so dead anyways.
Yeah, I'm just dead.
Yeah.
I was gonna end up not casting it, and then you just take Visions, and I'm gonna draw a fetch land.
Yeah, that's interesting. The one bridge. It's interesting you wouldn't want to have more, but I guess.
Okay, I think I would rather have Luris. So.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of a beating. Didn't even need the Emrakul. It just. I don't know. Your draw was not great either. Your draws were not great, but it didn't look that impressive to me.
Yeah, you just kind of, the one game where you were stuck on lands, I think if I just draw a spell.
Yeah.
Almost any spell.
That was a ridiculous game. We both drew on the bottom 10% of our draws there.
But the other 2 games, you just kind of tore me apart. And I never really drew. Normally in this matchup, you like interact a little bit. I didn't have the kind of removal I needed. Like you got some drowns. I wish I'd had some more pushes somewhere. Like there's only the 1 in the 75 in the Damnation.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I mean, I don't know why Push has all of a sudden went away from that deck when Regavan and Channeler are so big. Like, it seems like Push should still be a 3 of, and maybe the 4th in the side or something, you know?
Yeah, like I honestly, I wouldn't mind even like moving away from Archive Trap even further, not decking the full 4, getting some more interaction, because then you start taking advantage of those Visions. That's the key card in this in matchups like these, where you're trading off resources and your opponent thinks, oh, I've got 20, 30 cards in my deck, I'll be fine, just need to find a threat, and then you draw Visions, and suddenly you're putting pressure on their library again, and you have an answer for their next threat.
Yeah.
And I was just never able to do that.
You were never able to do that, and I even got unlucky in the first game where I just didn't hit one of my 3 Kroxas off that big mill before I could have controlled myself from going to 20 cards, and then you were just dead, right? Like, so even there, you got a bit of good fortune, and it just wasn't enough. So yeah, I wasn't as impressed as I thought I was going to be with that deck.
I guess what this list is doing is playing Counterspell.
Yeah, I didn't like
as a piece of interaction. As opposed to Fatal Push.
But it is better against Murktide.
Better against Murktide, but a little awkward when you're also adding a bunch of 3-mana sorceries to your deck.
Yeah.
If you want to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter or hard cast Fractured Sanity.
Yeah.
Though I imagine, once you have Counterspell, you just hold these both up and cycle, and that's fine, but it is awkward with Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Yeah.
So just generally, Yeah, I was impressed by Ingenious Smith, not as impressed by this deck, though I did never get to cast Ashes.
You never did get to cast it. I took it from you a lot. But, I mean, I have a lot of disruption, so that stuff is going to happen, you know? But the next deck I'm really excited for, it's time to play some Urza next round. I am pumped. Once again, every single time a new set comes out, I try an Urza deck. It's usually bad, but one top 8 at an event, so it has to be good, and I'm going to probably learn my lesson again.
And we're going to put it to the test. I'm going to be playing some Temur Rhinos, just one of the more successful decks over this first month of MH2 Modern.
I mean, one of the challenges here, and, you know, it looked like a deck that was phasing out. You know, that Living End was the better Cascade deck. But you know what? That's another deck. When people are maybe going lower on EEs or lower on ways to bounce the Rhinos, or just, you know, Chalice to counter the 0 drops, the deck looks pretty good. It's just a good Temur mid-range deck that just has a kind of a ridiculous end step where it's Violent Outburst, end step, put two 4/4s into play is pretty good. So.
I think it's been that deck is happy to see the metagame get moved in this very fair direction, and happy to see a decline in food decks, which you really didn't have a way to stop the engine, and they could just control all your Rhinos. And Primeval Titan decks that went way over the top of you.
Well, you brought that up. What do you think's happening to food? I just don't get it. Like, food still seemed good to me. The Dimir list seemed like it was kind of the best one. Black-green list with Trail that Jerry was coining was still pretty good. What happened to it?
I just think they got excessively targeted. I think you'll see a return of food decks as people move to target things like Hammer and some of the other decks that are popping up, Mill too, if people devote some sideboard space to that matchup. But even though Hammer and Food are ostensibly playing, you know, artifact synergy decks, you actually kind of stop them in very different ways. Against the Hammer deck, you like to have those one-shots that are really cheap and efficient, but at instant speed. And people were playing things like Shattering Spree, slower, more just blow up everything kind of effects against the Food deck. So they're a little bit, they're a little bit different. I imagine over the last couple of weeks, a lot of Hammer players have killed their opponents who were just looking at Shattering Spree in their hand, being like, I never had an opportunity to cast this because they end-stepped or mid-combated the Colossus Hammer to kill them. So I think that's an issue, and we're starting to see that metagame churn because the decks require different sideboard cards, and you can't prepare for everything. And now that people are going to prepare for food less, I think you'll see it come back.
And I mean, that's just another thing that just shouts the awesomeness of Modern too, is Modern, when it's at its best, is a self-correcting format. You know, with one deck becomes too good, well, you know what? There's a lot of sideboard cards to beat it. And then that deck is not so good for a while, and then people are like, okay, I think it's time to, you know, unleash my Rhinos again. Somebody gets to play their fun deck, their favorite Rhino deck, and really take advantage of people that are not prepared for it. And that's just a great thing about the format.
But there's always going to be a separation between the decks that when the metagame is bad, you put them down, or the decks where when the metagame changes, you change with them. And the decks that can change with the metagame and are adaptable that way are the decks that are successful week in and week out. That's your tier 1. And right now it seems like the tier 1 has shrunk from the, you know, we were talking a couple weeks ago, I remember, about that 4 pillars of tier 1 with Amulet Titan, food decks, prowess decks, and Fair Ragavan decks. And now it seems like it's shrunk to the mostly just Fair Ragavan decks are the decks that are the top tier of the metagame.
I would say the most played cards in Modern right now are probably Ragavan and Channeler because they're in the same decks. Ragavan,
Channeler, Lightning Bolt, Mishra's Bauble.
Like, do you think that that's leading Modern to be like in a healthy spot for you, since those are fair decks, even though it's like kind of coalescing around 2 cards like that?
So I think it's going to be something that people enjoy for a while, but if it goes on for too long, it gets stale. We saw Modern go through this earlier this year, where there was that 2 months where
Mystic Sanctuary.
Heliod was everywhere, and there's 2 months where there was just a ton of prowess. Right? There's just like it can be excessive, and we are at excessive levels right now. The only question is whether or not it will be at excessive levels for the next month or two.
Because that did get old. I mean, I loved Modern, and I've loved it even through that phase. But I was getting really sick of playing against Swiftspear and Heliod every single time. But I still have some faith that it's going to correct. I don't think it's that busted where we need to say the B word, or anything like that.
If it stays like this for another month or two, then we can start really questioning it. We're definitely seeing those decks are rising above the rest of what we thought was going to be tier 1.
Yep, well said. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for our second round. We are going to take ourselves a short 5-minute break, and we're going to be right back with the third and final round for the marbles. So don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Ross Marriott.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. Corey?
I got to say, man, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. It was pretty rude of you to punch me in the face after that last break for beating you 3-0, man. Like, come on, like, you know, be a better sport.
Well, Brad told me that you instituted a new rule for Versus Live on Tuesday's show, that if one person 3-0s, the other person gets to punch them in the face.
That seems like, I'm just going to concede 3 games.
I can show you the message.
All right, I'm going to concede 3 games in a row.
That's not how it
Cut
works.
the cameras.
They have to be played games. I've got it all here. Did that not happen?
No, that didn't happen.
So
that didn't happen.
Yeah,
because he 4-0'd me in one of the matches and still lost the marbles. But
so you have to blame Brad for that.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
If you want to get somebody back, you should punch him in the face.
Of course. Yeah, I figured I should mention my dog got me real good. I was messing with him though, so I kind of had it on. I had it coming, and his claws are really sharp, which I should have trimmed as well. So this was really on me. But yeah,
just all your fault.
I wanted to make a bad joke, but yeah, continue your intro.
It's really unfortunate when you suffer negative consequences for your poor actions.
I know. It's like justice. You know, it's like a Corey keep and getting punished for it instead. It's
just every day. I'm like, whoa. If it isn't the consequences of my own actions,
coming knocking right on my face again.
I was just going to complain about how hot it is here.
Yeah.
Because I was home in Connecticut over the weekend, and I remember the first full day I was there. I checked the weather before I went out and met up with a friend for lunch.
Yeah.
And I just saw high temperature 79 degrees. And I know it's going to be less humid as well. So I'm like, I can put on pants in the middle of the day and walk outside and not immediately want to walk back inside.
Wow.
And it was fantastic.
I'm just mostly shocked he would decide to wear pants at 80-degree weather. Honestly, the line where I start to wear pants is like 32. That's when I'll put on some pants. Otherwise, 33, I'm wearing shorts all day.
I have a picture of Corey in a nice pair of dress pants and some shoes, and I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm going to save that as a blackmail photo for later, though.
Yeah, it's pretty much only when I'm commentating am I dressed up. And now I haven't had to do that since I've been commentating from home. Back to shorts,
I generally assume if I can only see you from here up, that there are shorts on you.
Absolutely. Most of the time, it's that. Sometimes I forget to wear shorts as well. And, that happens.
Yeah.
That happens, yeah. I mean, I got kicked out of that one Wendy's. It's not that big of a deal, but...
There's plenty of other Wendy's. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what are we playing? I'm playing an Azorius Urza deck that took 6th, I believe, in one of the challenges, and just really showing off Portable Hole as a nice removal spell because there's so many powerful 1-drops. It's not actually that good against you. It's good against Rhino, but it's not something I want to cast on turn 1. But it is like the best 1-mana removal spell for Ragavan, for Channeler. So that's why this deck probably had some success. Now I can hit one of your Rhinos and stuff, and that's decent. But for the most part, I still have the combo now of Urza, Thopter, Foundry, and Sword of the Meek. And the deck just looks pretty clean. We have Urza's Saga, and I just hope, once again, Urza will stop letting me down and let me win a match on Versus Live.
Yeah, in the post-Mox Opal world, these Urza decks turned into sort of quasi-control decks, right?
Yep.
And they haven't been that successful in doing so. And I think one of the issues that they've had is that they haven't been able to both have the necessary artifact density to take full advantage of Urza and the necessary cheap removal to maintain parity in the first 3 turns of the game before they can cast Urza.
Yep.
And Portable Hole, I do think, gives you, makes a strong step in that direction. Being able to play an artifact that answers your key early threats. So then when you play Urza, you get a mana out of it, and you can do some really cool stuff on turns, 3, 4, and 5. I also like Portable Hole in a deck like this, where you have that over-the-top combo, because you can get to the point where you might have Kolaghan's Command on turn 3 to free your Ragavan, but by then it's just too late. I've played an Urza, I have 2 blockers, or I've used an Urza Saga, or I found some others found just a Thopter Foundry and can sack something to make a blocker, and it just doesn't matter anymore. So
agreed.
Big fan of the card in this deck.
Yeah, and we'll see if Urza can finally stop letting me down. It was just, I still remember our good happy days where we played it in, Indianapolis. Everything was fun. Everything was hunky-dory. Life was good. And then it's flipped so quickly. How's your hand?
It's interesting.
Yeah, my hand is definitely on the more interesting side rather than good. But I think I'm going to keep mine. It is, it's got one glaring problem, which I'm sure all y'all can pick up, but it has a very good card in this matchup, so I'm going to try it.
I was close to keeping this hand, and I was like, there was something in the back of my head that was like glaring, like this doesn't work the way you want it to work.
Yeah.
Then I realized this card is legendary. Yep. I was like gonna go like double gemstone caverns, but fortunately my
oh, that would have been our clippable moment, Rob. That would have been so good.
My inner Magic player was like, "There's my Spidey sense was tingling. This is gonna be a disaster." Yeah, this hand is. I guess I could start with Exile Cavern then.
Yeah.
Then I just don't have much to do. Like I don't have a 3-mana play. I don't have any of the 2-mana plays.
You're also on the play, so
yeah.
So that doesn't.
I'm on the play. Yeah.
This is a great start to match 3.
Rob, can we tag you in here? This guy is too rusty. We need him.
Hey, it's a teamer deck. I like that.
Confusing me by talking about his hand first.
Yeah.
Normally we go and play draw order.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So this hand is obviously.
So we're gonna blame that on Corey Mind Games.
Yeah, let's blame it on the Corey Mind Games. Absolutely. I get punched in the face, and you're the one doing the mind game. Sure.
Yeah, that's how it worked.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't keep saying that. Someone's gonna, call the police on you for abusing me.
Oh, I'll explain it.
So
I literally wasn't here. I have an airtight alibi.
So back to actual Magic.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Good call, Rob.
Ninja Guy 87 wants to know: do you think there's a version of Amulet that you think is viable right now, or do you think it's kind of just fallen off the radar?
Still tier 1 deck. I just don't see a world where that's not a tier 1 deck right now. It's too good. It doesn't have an awful matchup against these Ragavan Channeler decks. Like, I think Grazer is really good. I think the Grazer version, you should be playing 2, maybe 3 of those. But I still think Amulet is a tier 1 deck, and it's hard for me to believe it's not.
I think I would also be playing an E in the main to Teleria West 4.
Playing what?
An Engineered Explosives in the main.
Yeah.
And more Grazers. I think you just have to adapt the deck a little.
Agreed.
And people haven't done that right now, but it doesn't take much.
Yeah, totally agree. All right. Any other question at all, Rob, before we get started?
Not right now.
That was the main one? All right.
Okay.
Let's just hope Ross mulligans to Oblivion here.
Oh, it's worked well before.
Yeah. Is that one better for you? You got some gemstones to flash in right away? Sad Ross. Sad. Sad old Ross. My hand is not that good, though, so I will...
I'm going to try to keep this on 6.
Okay.
I've got some plays. I've got some outs.
Okay. Bring it on.
I'm going to play Misty. I'm going to get a breeding pool going to 17.
You're at 17.
And I'm going to suspend a Crashing Footfalls.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
There, and hope there's no Teferi coming.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I just have a Scolding Turn, and I'll pass to you.
Upkeep. Footfalls to 3.
Okay.
Draw.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Ooh, I'll crack this.
19. It might have been the worst draw in my entire deck.
Another one? I guess no, you would have suspended that.
That's what I put on the bottom.
Oh my god, a double Crashing Footfall ad. All right, I'm going to go to 19 from this.
Yep.
I'm going to draw. I'm going to play a Coast, and I'll pass to you.
Upkeep. Footfalls to 2.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Okay, I'm going to play Urza Saga, Chapter 1. Dang it.
Forest Pitchfire Ice.
Dang it.
It's exiled.
Okay, pass to you.
Okay, Footfalls to 1.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
This is a riveting game of Magic.
Oh my god, okay, Chapter 2. I'm going to try to play Chalice of the Void on 0.
Good thing I drew another force negation. Yeah, pitch another Fire Ice.
Okay. Wow. Then I'm going to play a land. Yeah. And then I'll pass to you.
Footfalls.
Resolves.
Wow, no cryptic?
No cryptic.
Oh my god. It's my lucky day. Okay, pass the turn.
I'm going to fetch.
Brings you to 18.
Yep.
Assume we're getting another tap duel and making a construct.
You don't know my life. You don't know what I'm going to do.
Maybe trying to Archmage's Charm or Rhino if you got that in your deck. I don't think you do that. I don't think this deck has a ton of interaction. It's playing the War package. I'm not even sure if you have Cryptic Command.
So
yeah, I don't think Corey does have Cryptic Command now that I think about it.
Let's go with
Raw green.
I'll go to 18.
Yep. We got 18 to 17.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to seem like I'm slow rolling you because I have a great play, but I will put a construct into play.
Yep.
On tap, a draw.
Are you going to make another construct?
Mana, no. I'll search. So I can get a bauble. I can get a needle. I can get a portable hole.
Can't get a portable hole. Mana cost 0 or 1.
Oh, one colorless. Yeah, of course. Okay. So let's go with a.
Get an Ether Spellbomb and deal with a Rhino.
I got a Chromatic Star.
Okay.
Very powerful.
I'm gonna try to cast like a Demi-Lich here. Is that the plan? In your deck with no instants and sorceries.
What are these cards you think I have here? So I still have one colorless floating.
Oh, I just don't know why you're getting Chromatic Star.
Yeah, me neither.
Just wanted to draw a card, I guess. So we're throwing the colorless away.
Yeah, I'll attack.
What is going on? I'm trying to think what Corey can whir for here.
Yeah.
You know, the best part is if Corey doesn't know, there's no way Ross can know.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't whir for two things. You need to get up to a 4/4.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Guess that was a bad attack on my part.
Could just be verdicting me this turn because you haven't played a land yet. I know that deck has a verdict in it.
That'd be pretty good.
I agree, it would be. Oh, double block.
All right. Land verdict.
Yeah.
Fast to you.
Figured out whose verdict.
You figured it out.
Oh, baby. We're doing it. You're up.
A draw. A chapter 2. So make it. Let's go with. I'm going to go with a land. I'm going to play a Sword of the Meek.
Sure.
And then I will pass to you. Hold. Upkeep. Word for 2.
It's just trying to get the combo online.
Yep.
Yeah, that resolves.
All right.
Can't do anything about it.
Okay. Yeah, I was. If you would have dealt with something here, I probably wouldn't get the combo, but yeah, I'll just get the combo here. I could get like an EE for future rhinos, but. This deck is sweet.
I will go to 15.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Upkeep. Draw chapter 3. With it on the stack, I'll make a construct.
Yep.
Sack. I got a bobble. Or spellbomb, I mean.
Different things.
Different things. Both good. Then I'll play Urza Saga. And I'll pass to you.
End step, I'll cast a Violent Outburst.
Yep.
Right on time.
You got it.
There we go.
You got some rhinos. Good for you. They're back.
Violent Outburst resolve.
It resolves.
No,
Pass to you. Where's my Urza to end you?
Yeah, I'm very done.
Yeah, you are. Combo you out nicely.
I needed to find another force negation so I could bounce one of the combo pieces and force it on the way back down.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
But then you're just going to have a bunch of big constructs.
My opening hand was 5 lands to Fairy, Supreme Verdict. I'm like, those are good cards. I'm in. Teferi, I forgot, is excellent against you.
Yeah.
Absolutely
only
excellent.
2 in the deck.
I was like, Supreme Verdict, you just can't really deal with. You know, like that just gets you. There's only one, yeah. But I mean, even there, I could have whirred for, if I didn't draw a Chalice, I could just whir for Chalice. Right? Yeah, I can't Saga for Chalice, but I can whir for it.
Yeah.
So I could have stopped it that way as well at your upkeep.
And you get to whir with Cascade triggers on the stack.
Yeah.
So it actually does. Normally, Chalice in response to your spell, there's not really a window for you to cast it.
Yeah.
But with Cascade, there actually is.
Yeah.
So yeah, whir ends up being a 3-mana counter spell to.
Not only that spell,
Falls,
but all of them. Yeah.
Very awkward.
Yeah, one of Chalice. Who would have guessed? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool in this deck. All right. We're having fun now. All right. I'm guessing you want to go first.
I do.
Maybe you should draw a little bit better than that, because that was not impressive.
I had a bunch of pitch spells. I had a Fire Ice, so if I drew second land early, I could try to counter him into third land.
Tapped some stuff down and stuff. Yeah.
It seemed fine. Just didn't draw lands.
Didn't work out. Okay.
Speaking of not drawing lands.
I think I'm going to keep. I think this hand is actually worse than the last one and has a little bit of a glaring problem, but YOLO.
YOLO has been called.
Yep.
So another question from the chat. This time, Of the Cross wants to know, what do you think is the default Stoneforge Mystic deck at the moment? Is it the Hammer deck or is it some kind of Stoneblade
What
deck?
is the what?
Default Stoneforge Mystic deck. The thing is that when you say Stoneforge Mystic deck, I don't think Hammer is really in that category, even though it is a deck with Stoneforge Mystic.
Yep.
When you say Stoneforge Mystic deck, I'm thinking like a mid-range deck, like sort of Stoneforge Batterskull deck.
Yeah. And I surprisingly do not think Monkey Blade is a good deck anymore right now.
Yeah, it's just not efficient enough.
Now, Blue-Red Delve is just a better deck doing the same kind of thing, so I think it kicked that deck out. So I don't love Stoneforge right now at all if we're not considering it as a Hammer deck. I think that's its only really good home right now, to be honest. But
I do think that if we get to a point where everybody's playing a bunch of good removal against Murktide Regent, then Stoneforge Mystic is going to get a lot better because people's decks are going to get less efficient.
Yeah.
And then you just have this built-in 2-for-1 in your deck that ends up, giving you a small edge in these longer games.
Yep.
So it's not that I don't think Stoneforge is going to be bad moving forward. It's just going to be a sort of cyclical thing.
Yep.
But I'm not a big fan of the Orzhov Stoneblade decks.
No, they're bad.
Yeah.
They're so bad. Grief Ephemerate. At day one, everyone's like, yep, just burn the format, get it over with. Grief Ephemerate's here, we're done. And then everyone's like, oh, yeah, this is bad.
Honestly, the major issue is that Stoneforge Mystic isn't compatible with Lurrus outside of the Hammer deck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think
Cauldron Complete is more than 2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So that's the big issue. If you got Lurrus out of here, if you got Bauble out of here, so Lurrus wasn't as powerful, then Stoneforge Mystic starts to look a lot more attractive in those mid-range shells.
Yep.
But right now, there's not a Stoneforge mid-range deck I would recommend. So if you're dead set on just putting Stoneforge in your deck,
play Hammer time.
Play Hammer.
Yep. Get your MC Hammer on and do some bonking.
I'm already on 6. The hand's not good.
All right, my hand is quite awkward though as well, so let's do it.
Go.
I love it. Okay, I got a Flooded Shroud. I'll pass.
Ross, you're supposed to cascade into those.
Yeah,
right?
you're supposed to cascade into those, buddy.
Scalding Tarn.
Okay. All right. I'll go to 19. I'll untap. I'll draw. I am going to play a Chromatic Star.
Resolves.
And I'll pass to you.
Upkeep. Footfalls to 2.
Okay.
Spirebluff Canal.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Sack.
You to 18.
Yep. Where's my lands? I have so many different lands here. There's the Artifact land, there's Hollowed Found, there's Seacom Crows, there's Regum Triome. We got the goods. Okay, I'm gonna untap. I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna go for Engineered Explosives for 0.
Resolves.
Okay. Then I am going to play this land. And I'm going to pass to you.
On your end step, I'll sack Tarn.
Okay.
19.
Yep.
And I'm going to cast a Brazen Borrower.
Casting the Brazy Bee, eh? Okay. You have a new game plan, huh?
Yep.
And how many cards you got in your hand?
That Crashing Footfalls, this is a diversion.
Yeah.
I have 3.
All right. I'm going to sack for blue. And I'm going to whir for 1.
Finding a Chalice. That resolves.
Think that's what I want. Just to really get you covered on this. Yeah, all right. Your go.
Back for 3.
I'll take it. Down to 16.
15. 2 fetches.
2 fetches. Down to 15.
I'll go to 17 for a Stomping Ground.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I'm afraid. It's not my favorite draw. Urza Saga?
Yep.
Then I'm going to go with a Urza.
That's one I did not want to see.
Yay!
And the thing I scoffed at on turn 1, I forgot about on turn 4.
What?
Just thought I was casting this cryptic command this turn. I don't have to.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, you got to have subtlety. I was like, subtlety is what really hurts me, but yeah.
Which when I drew the stomping ground, I was just like, I've drawn 2 non-blue sources.
Yeah.
There's also 2 gemstone caverns. Like,
And you've drawn both of them.
you can't put cryptic command in your deck with this many non-blue sources.
Does that result?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to.
Even if I could cast cryptic, I didn't want to see this because it was going to be an awkward decision. I want to go like bounce, draw, and a step, and then get to resolve his footfalls, and you're forced to like activate the EE.
Yeah. All right. Then I'll play Pithing Needle.
Resolves.
Scalding Tarn. Okay. And then I will add 3 mana. Bridge. Okay, that's pretty good. Pass to you.
Footfalls gets countered.
Countered.
Named the wrong fetch land, dingus.
Dang it.
Attack for 3.
12.
Pass the turn.
Crap. Untap. Draw. Chapter 2. Saga. Better hope that Brazen Borrower is going the distance there, buddy. All right, I'll tap these 2. Play a Talisman.
Sure.
Then declare attacks.
Yep.
I don't think something punishes me here, but I'm sure there's something. All right, I'll attack with these 2.
No blocks.
I'll make a construct.
Yeah. So this is a 7-point attack.
Yeah. Yep. Which is a 10. And I'll pass to you.
Okay, end step, I'll crack this for the 9.
Okay.
This is where I learned there's only one basic island.
Yeah, probably.
No, this is a second.
And I'm at 12, right?
Yeah, I have 9 to 12.
Okay. This better be a good cryptic command. I think you need all the modes.
Oh, I'm gonna cryptic, bouncing chalice, and drawing a card.
Okay, in response, I'll whir for 3 or whir for 2.
Okay.
All right, I can do that. Now I can add mana and sack the chalice so you don't draw a card. If I'm feeling it, which I think I am. And I'll get a 1/1 to block Brazy B.
Yeah, can't beat that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Thopter! Oh, this deck's fun. This deck's fun. Well, we might not have time for, 2 games. We definitely got time to sideboard and go to 1. So I think your marbles are dashed, which honestly is just great news because I don't think Urza's won on this show since Mox Opal was in the format, and I've tried a lot.
Yeah.
So this is a shining day for me. So take us into the sideboarding.
We're going to take a quick break, come back with some sideboarding, and then finish out this match between Azorius Urza and Temur Crashcade. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Temur Crashcade and Azorius Urza. On my side of things, bringing in some better interaction to hopefully have a chance here. Mystical Dispute is great. Force of Vigor also excellent.
Look at those gorgeous cards.
Yeah. The good news is that Force of Vigor also gives me a way to utilize all these crashing footfalls that I keep drawing.
Yeah, no kidding. You are not supposed to be drawing them. How many have you drawn so far? I mean, like 4?
Between the hands I've mulliganed, 2, probably 5.
Yeah, impressive stuff.
Yeah, because I think I've had 2 in 2 different hands. It's at least 3. It's somewhere in the 3 to 5 range.
Great job, buddy.
Yeah. Cutting all my Bone Crusher Giants, they seem very poor. I'm also cutting down to 1 subtlety. Card is obviously good against Urza, but it's literally only good against Urza.
Yeah, honestly, its usage is really subtle in this matchup, you know? I mean, so I don't think you want a lot of them.
You may be more tempted to bring out Fire Ice, but I think sometimes the tempo of just tapping something down on your turn while I'm setting up can be really useful. So I'm going to keep in Fire Ice and go down on Subtlety. Like, when Subtlety works, it looks really good when you're not tapping out, thinking you're resolving an Urza and I tempo you.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that situation is going to come up very often.
Yeah,
whereas
it literally just came up, but yeah, I agree.
Whereas the situations where I actually get to, play Fire Ice for some value are going to be more valuable.
Okay, sounds good. So from my end, these are the 3 cards that are the auto outs. This deck has a lot of fun ofs, but fun ofs that are good in a lot of different applications. With Urza Saga and Whir, these toolbox cards gain so much more value. If I'm playing against that Rakdos deck and all of a sudden I have 9 Soul Guide Lanterns in the main deck, like, let's go, So I'm actually really interested to try this deck in the real world too, because Portable Hold dealing with the 1-drops that are really bad, and then there's a lot of targets to deal with the bigger stuff. Like, I can just Murktide, try to I guess it's still so fast. Murktide's just still so fast, so that could be a problem still. But anyways, taking out these for sure. Taking out one of each of the combos since I have 4 Thopters and 1 sword.
This is good against Murktide, though.
That is good against Murktide, yeah, absolutely. And then taking out 2 Portable Holes because we're bringing in so many mass destruction spells against the Rhinos themselves. So we're actually, 1 mana deal with half of the Rhinos is actually not bad, but not really needed. Bringing in some disputes to fight counter wars. Verdict as another uncounterable way to deal with Rhinos. And then 1 more Teferi because, well, it's the best card against you, so.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay, has been declared. Oh, yeah. We're back, Urza. We're back. Good times. Got any last-minute questions there, Rob? Are people just loving Urza, please?
I seem to have distracted most of them with a new Nightbot command.
Oh, yeah? Which is it? Is it daggering one of us?
No, it's say hi, Rob, and then the bot just says hi, Rob.
Nice. Wait, you got to have the bot say hi, bot, and the bot says hi, bot. That's what you got to do. Yeah, missed opportunity.
One actual question. Ivory Warrior 347 wanted to know, Corey, if you had to play only Yorion or only Urza decks for the rest of your time playing Magic, what would you choose?
Urza all day. For real. I love Urza so very much. I haven't played a Yorion in so long. I don't even know if we're on good speaking terms anymore. I don't even know if we're tight anymore. Bird Serpents, meh.
The problem is the Emergent Ultimatum goes way over the top of Yorion decks in Standard.
Yeah, although it is a Yorion deck, but yes, I know.
The dopey mid-range Yorion.
Yeah. It's about to rotate now.
Yeah, it's about to rotate there, and then in Modern the format is just too efficient, and then in the in-between formats nobody plays them.
Yep, pretty much. This may be the most tilting hand I've ever drawn in my entire life. What do you think, Rob? Is this our keeper?
No.
Correct. You keep
I was like, is this the test?
No lands.
Oh, I have lands.
3 lands, 4 great spells.
I know. You don't mulligan 4 spells, 3 lands very often. If I had drums or something in my deck, I may consider that, but drum is a pretty bad card in most scenarios, but there should still probably be 1 in here.
You also aren't making a construct until turn 3 and have to tap out to do it after losing a land.
Yeah, I don't even think I can make 1 on turn 3, right? Because I played on turn 1.
You float a mana for the first one, you find a drum off of it, I guess, and then you make a construct and can cast a Portable Hole.
You're right.
And you can make another construct with the drum on the following turn before the second saga dies.
Okay, let me get that hand back, okay? Because that sounds great.
Yeah. Just turn 3, make a 2/2.
Your go. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna keep, but this is not great. I think I'm actually gonna put this back. So, all right, bring it on.
Okay, Stomager untapped.
Okay.
Turn 3, make a 2/2. We're playing Onslaught Block Limited.
Take 2. Chromatic Star. Would you like to force that?
Nope.
Okay, good. Bobble. Go. Let me see what you drew. Okay.
Play a Scalding Tarn and crack it.
Okay.
Get an Island.
Okay.
I'm at 19, and I will pass the turn. On your upkeep, with the bauble trigger on the stack, I will ice your Hallowed Fountain.
Rude. All right, so you're at 19. I'm at 18. I think I will respond by adding a blue mana to draw this card.
Yep. Now ice resolves. No,
maybe not.
Gonna dispute it.
I might. Did draw a dispute. Yeah, YOLO it.
Yeah, draw for turn.
Draw a bobble.
Yeah, yeah.
And then draw for turn.
Yep.
Okay, that's not great. I'll pass to you.
Pass the turn.
Yes! We did it.
Upkeep, ice your health.
No! Okay. I have a land. I'll pass to you. You got there.
17.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Okay. Pass the turn.
End step, cast Violent Outburst. Cascade.
In response, whir for 0. I'll get jealous.
Should have done it on my turn.
Oh, you think so?
I was thinking about Supreme Verdict in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't play around in both. Would you like to cast it?
Yes.
I'll counter it.
But I should have been thinking about where there's more words than verdicts.
Oh, is there? There is.
I'll pass the turn.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with a Teferi.
I will respond with a Brazen Borrower.
Okay.
Teferi resolve.
Okay. I will bounce that Brazen Borrower. And I will play a land and I'll pass to you.
This is honestly unbelievable.
Do you love that deck?
Just, my hand is unbelievable. Brazen Borrower.
No, I'm looking at it. It looks pretty believable to me.
Yeah.
You can go.
I'm going to put this into play at end step. I'm going to go to 17. All right. I'm going to untap, draw. Definitely tick up.
I mean, we could all probably just go home right now, right?
Well, a Brazen Borrower is kind of annoying, I will say. So I will pass to you.
Attack Teferi.
Wrath of God.
Fire Teferi.
No, Teferi's fired.
Pass the turn.
I'm gonna mix it up this turn and go with Teferi.
Resolves.
I will tick up and play a Chromatic Star, and I'll pass to you.
I'm gonna chat. You can't fire Teferi. Teferi quits.
You can't fire me. I quit. But first, let's slow things down.
Cards in hand?
4. You may cascade. Counter it.
Can't even cast it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just
Done?
playing a 2/2.
Okay, done?
You're up.
All right, let's go with a Urza and get a construct. And yeah, I will add blue Bounce. Bobble. E for 0. Chalice for 0. 4 mana. 5 mana. Whir for 2. Get Thopter Foundry.
He's not finding Sword of the Meek, so I wasn't dead. That's good.
Huh?
I was thinking that you just find Sword of the Meek, cast Thopter Foundry, kill me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't have that.
Doesn't have the full-on combo.
So I will just say go. You can't concede yet, though.
Stop me. Try and stop me.
Come on, I'm about to do the fun thing.
Rule 104 something, 104A, 104C, 3A. I can't remember.
That's when you're supposed to say, "You can't kill me. I quit."
A player may concede at any time. A player.
I thought I had it this turn, but I wasn't quite there.
Yeah, you're 2 mana short.
Yeah.
I was literally just stuck on 3 lands with all of my 4 drops in my hand.
Yeah, you drew so bad today, and after looking at this deck post board, it's a nightmare for Rhinos. Holy cow! I have a lot of good cards. I have a ton of them.
This deck, the Rhino deck is built for going over the top of decks that are playing lots of cheap threats and cheap answers. You're playing a lot of more individually powerful cards.
Well,
and in particular, cards that are match up well against Rhinos.
Yeah, Chalice. Playing 3 Chalice is kind of crazy right now and kind of unheard of. So this is a deck that utilizes that, which probably very good against Cascade. I think it's pretty interesting.
It's a pretty good deck at chalicing on 1. In matchups where that's good.
Yeah.
Your portable holes get shut off, but not a lot of your other cards get shut off.
But it's not a Chalice for 1 deck. You have a Chalice in there as a whir target, so you can never Chalice for 1, essentially.
But that's what the 2 in the sideboard, they can come in matchups where Chalice on 1 is good.
That's true. You just want. Do you bring it in against the Izzet mid-range deck?
I don't know if I'd bring it in against Izzet, but I would bring it in against Prowess.
Yeah. And you maybe bring it in against Izzet just on the play. You don't have it on the draw, Yeah.
But so it's a deck that's pretty good at doing that because its curve is more spread out than most other decks.
Yeah. You know what that means, right? That was an 0-3, so get your face over here.
No, that means I get to punch you in the face.
Dang
That's how it works.
Do the other eye at least this time. Cut the count. No.
You don't get both things.
Oh, man.
You either get the sweep or...
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. We're a little behind schedule. Any big takeaway from the day?
I think I was very impressed by the Hammer deck and its ability to fight through, obviously being the one deck that I actually won games with.
Yeah, and we put it up against the hardest deck, too. I think the best deck is the other Izzet deck, so I think we started with our best foot forward as far as the best decks.
And that was a close matchup, 3-2, but I think if I had played better in Game 4, I could have won that game.
I think so,
and
too.
had it be a 4-1, so...
Yeah.
But definitely an impressive showing from Hammer. So I think that deck is firmly established in Tier 1 for now.
Yeah.
I don't think just loading your deck with good spot removal, even though that's something you do want and need, you got to have a more, fully fleshed out plan against them. It's not a deck that just folds to hate cards.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll start seeing that, people adjusting, maybe finding some tactics that work well in the matchup, but for now, that deck seems very good to me. I do still think the Murktide deck is very good. I'd be interested to see how this Urza deck stacks up against some of the Ragavan DRC decks.
Same, just because, every other time we've played Urza, it's been our match 3, but for a reason that we just find it in the 5-0 league deck dumps, and we're like, oh yeah, let's try this absolute pile, But this, top 8'd, so it top 8'd in one of the most powerful modern, okay, that's probably a lie, but a very powerful modern format right now, and it still held its own. So that leads me to believe that there's something here, and the deck seems pretty well constructed. I wish I remembered whose list it was to give him a shout out, because it's pretty cool.
And I don't think people are really that well set up to beat Urza the card right now.
Yeah.
1-for-1 spot removal, even if it's a 1 mana, is still going to leave you with something pretty good.
Yeah.
Your constructs are big in that deck when you have Whir and all the cheap artifacts.
Yeah.
And Urza Saga. So that was
people are prepared to beat Urza Saga, though. That's the one thing that kind of scares me is you run into that collateral hate. But maybe with more Ragavans, with more Channelers, with more Murktides around, there's less Shattering Sprees and stuff.
And this deck is better built to grind through that, I think, than some of the food decks or some of the other Urza Saga decks, because you are a control deck too. You're generating card advantage with a lot of things, with Urza in particular. You can play the Planeswalkers. You can even put like a Jace in that deck if you needed to.
Okay, and I've been pretty low on Jace lately.
Yeah, the things.
So many bolts,
so many bolts. Maybe a Teferi, big Teferi. But you can gear your deck to be able to grind out through that kind of interaction.
Yeah.
You're happy to play an interactive game.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. A lot of the other decks that are playing Urza Saga are usually decks like Amulet Titan, Colossus Hammer, and food decks that are much happier to play a resource-rich, low interaction game because their synergies are so powerful.
Yep.
So they're more vulnerable to that kind of mass artifact destruction, whereas this deck, I think, is going to be better suited towards playing those low-resource games.
Still a little rough getting your portable holes blown up with Shattering Sprees and stuff, so I would be afraid of that card specifically, but Force, I'm not that afraid of. Shattering Spree, I'm afraid because it kills everything. Or at least four things.
And you can't counter it because it's all copies.
And it's all copies, you can counter one that saves a main thing, which is valuable, but this deck doesn't run a lot of counter spells. So, I agree. Pretty cool stuff. I'll be interested to play this through a league this weekend if I can finally play some recreational Magic. It's been so long. I'm seriously going through withdrawals. So, really fun show. Rob, let's thank some subs. We're going to thank some sponsors, and we're going to head out.
Unfortunately, no new subs today, but thank you to all of our other subs who are still here.
Yeah, we got 5 gifted subs last time, and it was a bribe to Multa Zero, and we played a game Multa Zero with Brad. It was pretty fun, so we might have to do that later. I won. I was playing the aggressive deck, and he was playing a control deck, so I was like, oops, sorry, GG.
Yeah. She did it again.
Oops, I did it again, yeah.
Oh, even though that was the first time you did that?
Yes, exactly.
No, Brad said that there was a story where you two Multa Zero against each other.
We Multa Zero in a Fairy Mirror match. I suspended Recall on turn 2, and I had Bitter Blossom on turn 4. Not bad, huh?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Take us home, buddy.
If you'd like to support Star City Games in another way, you can join SCG Premium. $7.99 a month will get you access to exclusive content from our wonderful staff of content creators, as well as some other perks, which are 5% off of sealed product, 10% off of singles, and 15% off of supplies. So head on over to starcitygames.com/join-premium and sign up today.
Absolutely. And if you want to check out some of these Adventures in the Forgotten Realms cards that we were playing with today, I know we only featured 3, but of course, this is the time to be buying them, since standard right now, they're cheap, but once it comes to rotation, these cards are going to get expensive again. So it is a good time to order Adventures in the Forgotten Realm. You can go to starcitygames.com/previews. Now you can get sealed product or individual cards at this time. So go check it out.
This is also a good time to sell the cards that you are no longer using. We're in this sort of weird spot where everybody's collection feels like a year or two outdated.
Yeah.
If you haven't been keeping up with everything, and I know I haven't.
Yeah.
So good.
Have you ever?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I'm playing tournaments every weekend, you're kind of forced to.
Yeah, you have to buy some stuff. Yeah.
So, if you want to get your collection up to date, pick up some new cards, need to get rid of some old cards to do so, Star City Games is always buying, and the process has never been easier because there's so many ways to do it. You can use the buy list feature on the website. You can mail your cards in and let SCG do the work for you. You can make an appointment and come into the store to do your business in person. And if your collection is large enough, you can make an appointment and have SCG come to you. And always do keep in mind that you will get a 30% bonus on any trade-ins that are for store credits.
Yep, absolutely. And I just de-sleeved the last deck I played, and it was our Teamer Urza deck, which, sad.
You have no idea how old some of the decks I still have skeletons of partially together. I think the oldest one I have is Modern Splinter Twin.
Wow.
Which at this point is literally just Splinter Twins, Deceiver. It might not even be Deceiver X Arcs. I think it might just be Pastor Might, and a Twisted Image.
Wow. That is one twisted image if I've ever visualized one. So, all right, the sale we got going on this week is the next order of business. Right now it is 15% off non-English singles. So if you want to get some cool foreign cards, check that out. You can go to starcitygames.com/sale to get on that. And remember, Monday at 10:59 a.m. is when that sale ends, and we'll start something new. So if you want to get those foreign cards, check them out.
And last but not least, we would like to thank our sponsor, Coalesce Apparel. If you like the shirts that we wear, you can find their entire collection of shirts, hoodies, and stickers at coalesceapparel.shop. And be sure to use the gift code SCG when checking out to get 10% off of your purchase there as well.
Did you get the new batch? Cedric sent some new ones. I love this one. I love the colors.
I haven't checked my mail since I got back.
Wow. Okay. Rude.
Which is bad because I was also gone for 4 days. So there's just a week's worth of mail in my mailbox right now.
Nice. And you wonder why you lose mail. I mean, it's a mystery here. So, all right, everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching this special edition of Modern. It's nice to welcome back Ross after his little vacation. Next week, of course, we will be back.
I don't feel so welcome.
Yeah. Sorry, neither do I. So next week, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time will be our next show. Not exactly sure what we're going to do quite yet, but believe it or not, we're going to play some Magic. So for Rob, Ross Merriam, I'm Corey Baumeister. We'll see you then.